Okay, yes, it's the day you wait for. The end of the week where you can take 2 days to do what you want. You don't have to worry about traffic and other people and things and noise and chaos and work and jobs and things you have to do and duties and lists of stuff, and you know how it goes. You made it to Friday, everybody. Give yourself a big round of applause. You deserve it. There we go. Simphiwe is here, and Ryan is producing the show, and Ben will be joining us a little bit later on. We've got lots going on this morning. Then we also have Elson popping in. Yeah. Elson from the comments section is in Joburg, and he's like, come and see you guys. Because he just wants to see this nice place that we live in now.
Of course, who wouldn't
Right?
want to
That's
see
all
this
anybody
place?
wants. I mean, we could see through all of this.
Oh yes, I'm just ready for the pool party now. I'm ready to get my bikini out and let's go, diving into the waters.
Yeah, and that's what everybody says when they come here. They're like, hey, how often do you use the pool? Like, just because your office doesn't have a pool doesn't mean we're sitting in the pool the whole time. Although
I'm ready to.
It's
sit
quite
in the
cool,
office.
right?
I mean, well, in the pool. I'm ready
In the
to
office, you're ready to sit in the office. I'm like, that's what you do every day.
Yeah, my views are beautiful. So hey, I'm not gonna complain the minute I get to do that.
Weekend plans? What are you up to?
This weekend I am going to some conference. Like my friend bought me some ticket to something, and it's called.
Ooh.
Can I tell you the name of it?
Yes,
it's called
go.
We Need to Talk.
Oh, wow. Is this friend trying to tell you something, or is that just the name of the thing?
That's the name of the thing.
But for some people. Okay.
So that's all
right.
I'm getting up to this weekend, and that's it. Taking it easy. I'm still waiting for my December to land.
To land, yeah.
Yes.
I have not given it very much thought, although I'm suddenly going to have to be in Cape Town in December twice,
Ooh.
which is cool.
But it's going to be packed.
It's
Cape Town's the
chaos.
worst time to
Chaos.
visit. In December, it's the worst time. Everyone goes there and you're thinking you're getting away from people, and then you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's all I have planned. What do you have planned this weekend?
No, this weekend, knitting. Yeah, I might go to something on Saturday.
Oh.
A bunch of friends are doing something on Saturday, but today, zero.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, yeah. I think it's actually kind of cool to not have to plan too much. You also want to keep things open. I know it sounds a bit like FOMO-ish, and I'm not like that at all. But I do like not having a set plan, because then you can go along with whatever happens, right?
Yes.
And there's so many options, and there's so much that could happen, and could be really cool. And you doing anything, Ryan? No. Nothing. Zero. Okay. Well, I'm also going to try and make the most of the next month and a half where I'll still be drinking, because from next year I'm just gonna.
Oh wait! Whoa! You're quitting in.
Yeah,
You're
well, I sort of I've done a soft quit already. Like last weekend, I didn't drink a lot.
In the words of Drake,
I say a lot, but I mean by my standards, right?
Drake says, "Mama ain't raised no quitter. That's why I ain't gonna quit alcohol."
No, but it's like, hang on. Here's the problem. If the only reason I want to do this is not because I think there's a problem, or because I'm like sick of it, or any of that stuff. I want to see what the health benefits might be.
Okay.
So it's purely experimental. I know I could stop tomorrow, and I wouldn't miss it.
Okay.
So it's not like it's a crutch that I'm dependent on, and I'm so used to doing it. Like, it is a thing that you do when you go out, and it's a thing that you do when you've got friends around you.
Yes.
So I'm not putting any hard and fast rule in place. I'm not going to torture myself and say, oh, have I done this properly? Haven't I done that? Have I followed my own rules? Who cares?
Okay.
But it's for me. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. So if someone sees me having a drink, you're not going to like, whoa, you're drinking, because I'm the only guy who's making the rules. It's got nothing to do with you.
I like that.
But I want to see if I can do it just to feel out those health benefits. Like you apparently you have more energy. You feel like your system is just clean and ready to go at all times.
Okay.
I don't want hangovers. Simphiwe, I know this sounds like a boring old man thing, and I'm sure you've become used to this on a Friday, but that's why I kind of like having you and Bakabantu on the show, because you guys are like in your 20s and you're going to stop me from becoming too old and decrepit. But the reality is, like, also you get to a stage where the hangovers are just too shit. You haven't maybe got there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much you drink or how much you don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even those people who are fairly soft drinkers, the
Mm-hmm.
hangovers as you get older get much, much worse. And they just take up so much time. And you're like a slow, like pathetic animal for a whole day the next day. And I just don't want to waste a lovely, for example, if it was tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd feel slow and useless tomorrow. And tomorrow's Saturday. Why would I want to use up my Saturday just wandering around being lazy and drunk? Do you know what I mean?
I definitely get what you mean, Gareth.
Right.
Like, being drunk is not cute.
No.
And I've had quite a few friends that have had like, they've done a back-to-back weekend where like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they've been drinking, in maybe including Monday. And then afterwards, they're like, I'm done.
Sunday. Yes,
I'm done. They're like, I can't do this anymore. I've quit alcohol. Like, I can't carry on like this. And then give them 3 months and then they're back. So I've heard the I'm leaving alcohol speech from my mates. And I'm always like, you know what? It's okay. I'm one of those people that respect other people. And
you might give me the biggest I told you so next year as the end of this year rolls around, and I try it for like a month or two, and then I go, nah, this is not for me. Because also, I don't believe that you're on this life to live this in this life rather to live this absolutely perfect ideal existence, and that you never break any rules, you never do anything fun, and you only live optimally every second of the day, because I think those people are exceedingly boring. And I think they have horribly unsatisfying lives. Like, to me, alcohol's always been just a thing that you do with friends that just kind of takes the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun exercise. It's not an important part of life. But if it makes me miserable and I become grumpy and serious about everything, and there's a lot of time where I'm grumpy and serious anyway, at least at work, then I'm going to say, no, you know what? I need this in my life.
Shout out to you, Gareth.
Yeah,
and
let's go.
Also,
let's do it.
Just a PSA to all the people that you're going to be hanging around. Can they not do the typical, so why are you not drinking? Oh, wow. Like, are you sure just one shot? It won't hurt. Like, just one drink. Please stop.
Although, Studla Mafetle, Alan Ford.
Yes.
He gave up alcohol because he said he had a problem. And I mean, I don't see Alan socially at all, but he says he's got a great social life now, and I believe him.
Okay.
Because he's been off it for 2, maybe even 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he doesn't miss it at all. Now, he's just one example. He's the first example that pops into my head. But I keep bumping into people who are just stopping it. And funnily enough, it's young people who are like, nah, this is not really something I want to waste time and money on. And that's the other thing, is the money. Man, the amount of money, if I just added up how many thousands of rands I could have saved that I've spent on alcohol, I'd have another, I don't know, I'd have another house.
Oh.
Really, I think if you add it up.
Please don't do that, because now even I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to be like,
no, it's just such a waste.
Like, please don't do that. Don't do that, Gareth. All you need to do is, we're off alcohol. We've stopped and we're starting. It's a new chapter, a new page.
Okay.
Don't remind me of like the mistakes.
So Don says, listen to the Modern Wisdom podcast with Dr. Andrew Huberman. They get into details about quitting drinking. Okay, so I'm just going to say this up front. I do occasionally listen to, I think it's Chris Williamson who does that show. But I find a lot of it is so, man, it's the kind of stuff you hear from those friends of yours who think that they are, the best example of humanity. And I don't really have a lot of friends like that, because those people irritate the hell out of me. But as much as I like the show and I think Chris is great, I can't listen to those self-improvement things the whole time. And a lot of that is like, how do you become a better person? Which is fine. We all need some of that in our lives. But, I'd rather hear what's going on in the world. It's not all about me.
Mhm.
And when you get too into yourself and your own mental health and your own physical fitness and your own this and your own that, you become a boring person. You don't, I want to know about what's happening outside of myself. So, of course, along the way, you're maintaining,
Mhm.
along the way, you're looking after,
Yeah.
along the way, you're learning some hacks that'll make life better. But if your whole life is dedicated to these constant self improvements, I mean, how much navel gazing can one person do? So I hear you, and maybe I'll listen to it, but maybe I just won't. By the way, you must check out our new app
Mhm.
because we have basically done the soft launch. We're not doing any big ta-da about it, but everybody who's been on the app and loads of people who listen to us love to listen on the app live. You can also watch us live through the app. The nice thing about it is it won't switch off while you're doing other things on your phone, because who can only do one thing on their phone?
Oh no.
No one on earth.
No.
So, if you were watching us on YouTube and it was a pain in the backside because the video won't close or whatever, this is the way to solve that problem. We've got a new app. Just go into the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.
Mhm.
You look it up, one word, Cliff Central, and you will find the new app. And then you can delete the old one because
Yes.
we've done a little upgrade. We're not making a big fuss about it. I think you'll find it's easier to use.
Yeah, bo.
Been beautifully put together by our team here. Kurt and you and Dory and Homolemo and everybody else. So get onto it and tell us what you think. And also, if you haven't, passed on the word about Cliff Central to people, then for God's sake, what are you waiting for?
Mhm. So you
Tell them.
download the new app.
Download the new
Your
app.
homework for today
For
is
sure.
download the new
There we go.
app.
That's not a lot to do on a Friday.
No.
And don't tell me you're busy at work, because very few people have like a full diary at the moment. And if you do, God bless you. You've got to teach the rest of South Africa how to do that, because I hear and see a lot of people slacking off.
Yes, it's
Big
that.
time.
What's
You get
what's
those
the term?
message things.
Yeah, and fatigue.
Automated. Yeah, you're in fatigue. But you get those automated messages from people already saying, hi, our diary is pretty much full for the rest of this year. You can contact us in the new year. Now, it doesn't happen to me often, but I've seen 2 of those. And I'm thinking, whoa, what?
Yeah.
I still got at least a month of work. Mid-December, sure, you've got that extra public holiday from the president.
I don't think it's an extra. I was just like, this man.
You think it was a cheat?
It's such a
Are you
cheat.
feeling cheated?
I am. I so am. Because number one, we wanted a specific public holiday on the Monday after the Bucks won. He took that away from us. He was like, no.
Yeah.
I'll address you
He
guys
messed us around.
on that Monday.
Mhm.
And then he tells us, oh no, fun fact, the public holiday is next month.
Well, and then what he does is he finds he's sneaky finds a Saturday that's a public holiday already.
Yes.
And he just says, well, you can have the Friday. But that's good, because actually, Simphiwe, what the hell did any of us do to earn a public holiday? We just sat at home and watched the rugby and supported the Springboks.
I disagree. I did a lot.
What did you do?
I supported the Bucks. I read up.
Oh, you did
I
a lot,
became a fan.
You did a lot.
I didn't know anything about the sport. And then I was in it to win it. I was also going through that moment. I was like, so I think in my mind, in my head, equally deserved the public holiday. Like, I equally deserve to be like, yes, South Africa, you did it. I'm just mad that it's a month later. That's my only issue.
But wouldn't you rather have it in December? Doesn't that make sense? You can make more use of it then.
Sure. I mean, he picked a great month. I'm just saying, betunana, like a month. Like, we still, I have to make it to
Think about
December.
it. If you'd given it to you on the Monday after we'd won, for example, it would have been gone already. You would have used it up, and you wouldn't have had the joy that you have now anticipating it.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Let me just. It's nice to complain about things that are. It's still going to happen. It's nice to complain about a public holiday than to complain about potholes, because that's going to happen. So I'm just complaining that, if it was up to me, it would have been on that Monday. We just have to wait.
Okay, sorry, I just saw a couple of comments here about the app. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with it. Ryan, will you just check that out for us quickly? Make sure that everything's working on that.
I see a comment from SM. New app locked and loaded. It's working.
Oh, okay, good. So it's maybe you're on the old app. In other words, get out of there, download the new one, and let's start again. Okay, that's kind of where we're at. And By the way, we know that this thing was a long time coming, so we've been quietly working on it in the background, and that's why it's finally available now. Okay, this is an interesting comment because we were talking about giving things up, and you don't have to give anything up. I also hate New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know about you, but Yonda says, I stopped drinking for 3 weeks, had the worst experience ever. I couldn't sleep. I think that means couldn't. My stress levels were up. My skin was bad. I started getting headaches and got grumpy. I didn't even get hangovers. I'm not sure if Yonda's being sarcastic or if that was real.
Sounds like withdrawal symptoms.
Yes, I agree. It's probably withdrawal symptoms.
That was it. And then give it some time, you are gonna be fine. Like,
yeah. Okay, so then there are people trying out the new app. Very good stuff. And new app, Locked and Loaded. You told us about that one. Feel like a winner every day. Had an unbelievable week, says John Bad Dog.
Nice.
How cool is that? Fuck, drinking is for losers. Shrooms and weed. You don't know what you're missing. Okay, so you're just going to replace one thing with another. I don't know if that's the way to go. And then Congo Chris has got some useful advice here.
Mm-hmm.
As we go into December, and by the way, you haven't come up with a theme for December. You did this last year for us. Do you remember?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys
there
and
was
girls,
someone complaining about this earlier. So think about that for a second.
I don't know if I want to do it this year.
Why? Is too much pressure?
No, I'm just like, there's a lot going on, guys. And South Africa is just a movie. Like, we are winning in sports, but then we're losing in politics and corruption.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to, I'll think about it.
You can't give up on that. You're like you're our you're our like party person here. You're gonna make sure something happens. All right. So Congo Chris says, Gauteng, please listen. When you guys are visiting the coast, please learn how to drive. Also, it's polite for you to park as far away from the beach as possible to allow the locals to park closer. So, okay, Chris, first of all, that last part is nonsense. But there's no parking. Forget about parking. It doesn't happen. If you are in KZN or in the Cape, parking's just not a thing. Not going to happen, so we're not going to listen to that stupid advice. But as it goes for, or rather, as you say here, when it comes to driving, the people from Gauteng are not the bad drivers. I have to say, and obviously, Simphiwe and I are biased here, but we have way more experience in advanced driving, evasive driving.
Come on now.
Avoiding taxis, avoiding guns, avoiding hookers, avoiding drug dealers. You guys don't know what the hell you're doing in the rest of the country. So actually, we are some of the best drivers.
Yes.
The bad people are the ones with Western Cape and KZN and Mpumalanga. And I've got to be careful because I've got Mpumalanga plates on at the moment. But those are the people you got to look out for.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys want to follow the rules and just stick to one lane and drive at 60. It doesn't work like that. The real world is, the robot's not working. Let me just go this way. Let me do that way. I need to avoid this taxi. Like
potholes. Vincent's quite right. We also have more potholes than you do, so we know what we're doing.
Yes, because we're not trying to, take out a tire. So we're here with it.
Listen, people who drive in Gauteng, we have to be aware and awake, and it's like you're in constant state of high alert.
Yes.
Because those potholes will get you.
Yes.
The traffic lights never work. There are dangerous things happening on our streets, and we have to be aware and awake no matter what time, no matter what part of Joburg or Pretoria or whatever. Got to watch out.
And let me tell you something. You can be from Cape Town and you come to Joburg. The minute you have to deal with taxi drivers, I promise you, your attitude will change. That is what will tell you that, you know what? Nah, I need to get with the rest of the flow because this is not working. How I drive, you're always going to be mad.
I also have to agree with somebody who says that the Cape Town number plates with CY, which is Belleville, like northern suburbs, those are the worst drivers in the whole world. I completely agree. And I know there are going to be some people who listen to us and who are going to be very upset and hurt by this thought, but I'm sorry. Like CY plates, the worst in the whole country. I don't know what it is. People even have a joke in Cape Town. They're like, if you want to see someone drive badly, you just have to look at their plate and you'll see why.
Yeah.
Right. So CY is the prefix for Belleville. Anyway, they don't know what lanes are. They don't know what indicators are. They have no idea. There was a guy yesterday
Sounds like BMW drivers.
Was it yesterday or the day before? And this guy was just driving around. No, it was the day before because I had an event I was at, and it was dark already. This guy was driving around, no lights, blissfully unaware. Like it's 7 or 8. No, it was 8 o'clock at night, and this guy had no lights. I'm like, dude, come the hell on. Sims, our taxi drivers literally tried to burn down our city. That's also true. Are we comparing how difficult it is to live here or there or anywhere?
Yeah,
Because I mean, everybody's going to have their story, right? This is like those old people who get together and they're like, "Oh, when I grew up, it was much tougher than it is now."
And then the other one is like, "Oh, let me tell you about my battle scars. You didn't have it as tough as I did."
Exactly. Not being sarcastic, and Sims not withdrawal symptoms.
Okay.
Not like I was drunk all the time and depended on it. Well, I don't know, Yanda.
Sure sounds like it.
We've seen you in the comments section, and often you are drunk. Okay, so Gauteng, most number of cars in the smallest province, permanent traffic. The only rude Gauteng drivers are the ones driving BMWs.
No, BMW drivers can't drive. I can tell you that much.
That's a good generalization.
Yeah, like they have like this expensive car. They want to just make noise randomly and go, brr, pa. And then like then afterwards when they like get to a hump or pothole, like especially if it's like Indian drivers, then they want to drive at 20 when everybody is like at 80.
Indian drivers.
I'm just saying because it's so low. Their car's pimped
low
out.
slung, yeah.
And they can't, so they have to move at 20 just to get over this hump or the pothole, avoid the pothole. And then like in traffic, they're just assholes. I'm sorry, BMW drivers
you
are
guys
just
have got
the
a lot
worst.
to answer for.
Yeah, you guys are the worst. You have like an expensive car, but you can't drive.
No, get your shit together.
Nix.
Right. There we go. Some angry anti-BMW driver ranting from Simphiwe this morning. Derek says he hates Bucky drivers. You know, why are we on this? Are people very frustrated on the roads, or is it just me? They are. They're very pissed off.
No, it's because there's assholes on the roads. No, let me tell you, I'm a very calm driver. Very, very calm, especially on the highway. I know how this works. I didn't buy my license like other people. So I know how, this operation works. And then you have these buckies. They're just on your ass all the time. Whether you're on the fast lane, the slow lane, the middle lane, they're just rude.
And they take up way more space than any other car.
You see?
So, you see, we should have actually saved this for George. I know on a Friday we talk a little bit about cars, but man, it seems like people are brimming over with. I used to have a lot of road rage. And I used to be very grumpy on the road. I used to get instantly pissed off when other people were driving badly. And often I realized like it was me also driving badly.
Mm-hmm.
But to be perfectly honest, once I started listening to podcasts and I sorted out some playlists, and I'm good.
Yeah, you see that you're not the problem. It's everybody else.
Snipes wants to know, are we doing Blind History? New episodes next year, even if it's the paid version. Come on. Maybe we should do that, actually, because then I'll tell Ant we don't have to, because we've been looking for a sponsor for that for a little while, and maybe we should just do it and, charge a subscription. It'd be an interesting experiment. If you don't want to listen and you don't want to pay, then we know.
Mm-hmm.
You people are cheap. That's what we know. But we'll see. All right. Indian drivers, lol. It's my MIL in the back seat, mom-in-law. Oh, okay. Oh. All right, Max Sony. I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
Nope, BMW drivers are not the worst, says Hendrik. The worst are Toyota drivers. You don't believe me? One word, quantum. I have to say, like, again, of course, taxi drivers are hella annoying.
Yes.
But I have found actually they're the only people who let you in.
Yes.
And they tend to know their way around things. You know what I got irritated with yesterday? I was on my way to meet with someone at about 5. And 5 is peak traffic time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of traffic going on. These two guys go past everybody on the outside, on the off-ramp to the highway. And people just let them. Now, I was a little bit annoyed, and I thought I could just block their way.
Mm-hmm.
Just be an asshole about it. But do I really need that karma in my life? Because there's going to be a time where I need to get past. Just breathe and let it go. But I do think there are a lot of people who just make everything more difficult for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And they piss us off. And maybe they piss us off because we see them get to the front and they just go. And we're like, that could have saved me 4 minutes.
I think that's the real
That's
issue.
why we hate them. But I held back. I didn't get cross. I got on with it. And I got to where I was going. I was 10 minutes late, but I got there.
Yeah, like I have moments like that because I used to take taxis. So I've once been that passenger who was in a taxi and he was a law-abiding citizen, and the whole taxi was just like,
come
"Hey,
on,
come on, like do what your fellow colleagues are doing."
Have you ever been in an Uber and the guy is so slow and so careful and he follows the rules and you're like,
no,
this is taking forever.
Yeah, like no, I'm not here to be here.
And you say to the guy, listen, dude, you can go a bit faster. I'm not going to tell anyone. He's like, no, I don't break the rules.
Oh, wow.
Damn it. Out of all the Uber drivers, I had to get you.
Somebody help us.
Miss Daisy. All right, let's look at a couple of things that are going on in the news because we can't pretend that just because it's Friday, there isn't stuff that we need to know about this morning. And don't worry, it's no Politics Friday, so we're not going to get into anything too heavy.
Yes.
But I do want to throw this in quickly. I think this is quite exciting. Apparently, Sun International has warned against a bogus 25 Rand Sun City accommodation deal. So there's so many scams going on, man. And Lebang falls for all of them.
Yeah, like Lebang, this is for you. Do not.
Yeah, so Lebang, this is especially for you and everyone else who has no idea of like what's true and what's a scam. Okay, so this is the basic story. They've warned holidaymakers about a bogus 25 Rand Sun City resort accommodation deal. But you should know if there's a 25 Rand won't even buy you a cappuccino at the garage. How do you think Sun City are going to offer 25 Rand accommodation at a resort?
Okay, wait. Is it a Black Friday deal?
No. So the scam has been circulating on social media. The post states the offer is in celebration of their 50th or 55th anniversary. However, Sun City was established in 1979, making it 44 years old. Sun International is making an urgent appeal to the public to not respond to any social media posts purportedly offering accommodation and breakfast. They're going to throw that in for 25 Rand at Sun City Resort Hotel for just 25 Rand a night. Please, guys, please don't fall for this.
Please don't. But let me tell you how they could have made this actually be more legit.
Yeah.
First, make sure that it's a Black Friday weekend, right? Then you're saving because they're like, oh my gosh.
What do you look for in Black Friday? Because Pumi yesterday was saying she looks for the online deals, but she'll never go to the shops.
Yeah. Same here. I believe in Cyber Monday. But I think that the trick is in general, if you don't, okay, I know a lot of people that buy groceries. That's why it's so packed. But
those people are looking for a deal because they like squeezed and there's no money. And they're sick and tired of being like ripped off. And then they see Black Friday deals and they think, well, an hour of my time is worth saving 100 Rand, 200 Rand. I get it. I won't do it.
Yes.
But I get it.
But what I will say is have a specific item in mind during the year. So if you want to buy tires, a laptop, I don't know, you want to buy a new phone, you look for that online during the year. Because when it's Black Friday, you'll be able to tell if they've actually decreased it. Because what they do in July, it goes up, it goes to 20,000. And then Black Friday, they're like, oh no, it's just 90. It was like 22 now, it's now 20, and you're like, no, this is not a deal. No. So that's how you know
it's going to be a real deal.
Yes. Yeah. And you shop around online. That's the best way to say, oh no, if this particular retailer is selling this for 15,000, I'm sure I can get this somewhere else. Negotiate, guys. Don't be scared to go in and say, no guys, I can get this for 14. Ask for a discount on a discount. That's what I do.
Simphiwe knows how to do this. I'm very impressed.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is, let me tell you now, guys, don't think you must only hustle, my friend. You can walk into any retail and then just ask them, do you guys have any specials on this? Sure. Can I get a discount on this? And I promise you, you'll be amazed at...
Ben is big on Black Fridays. Ben likes to line up at like a game. When those people push down the... those people who push down the glass windows.
This is why he's working out the whole year, doing cold plunges so he can push people off.
So you can push them out of the way. It's so funny. He really does. He's a big fan of waiting in queues for the Black Friday specials. He loves it. Him and 3,000 other people. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yeah, I think the saying
Yeah.
is, I'd rather lick a dog's asshole than do that. No,
Simphiwe.
it's a terrible waste
Yes.
of time.
So Simphiwe is actually quite good at this shit. She negotiates over and above the Black Friday deals.
You
That's
have to.
you have to
There's a
have
surprise.
balls of steel. No, she doesn't mess
Yeah,
around.
like you
No.
ask. You just, I promise you, like the one thing I will always do is ask. You walk in there, you smile, you're like, how are you doing? You good? Can I not get another discount on this? Like just
Yeah.
a discount on discount.
Most of the time they chase you out with a broom.
And then I'll be like,
You get the broom
"No."
for 70% off, though.
All right, a couple of things in the comments. Hey, Ben. Sorry, nice to see
Hi,
you.
guys.
So first thing, somebody says here that apparently today at 1500 hours, this is according to Michael John, SpaceX are launching a Starship today. How cool is that?
What's
Okay.
is a starship different to a spaceship?
I think it's something new. We'll be watching.
That sounds like something
Keep an
like Elon would be doing, hey?
It is Elon,
Okay.
SpaceX. Yeah.
So
Well done, Simphiwe, joining the dots as always.
Oh,
Very good. Did you hear about the 25 Rand Sun City special, Ben?
No, because
Oh.
guys, it's just sat down.
No.
I mean, bombarded here by
No,
retail.
it's absolute nonsense. So don't fall for it.
good.
Okay.
But they're saying that there's a scam going on.
Okay.
With like 25 Rand, and you can have a weekend in Sun City, which is ridiculous.
Well, every now and again, companies do make typos or they have some sort of glitch.
This is not one of those.
Okay.
They've warned everybody.
All right.
And then, by the way, there is somebody in the comments who said that actually there are flights. Sapphire are doing 1 Rand flights that are apparently
Yeah,
legit.
but that's legit. That's been happening for years, though.
Yeah, they
and
always
it's
do that
also no. When I say it's not legit because it's a scam, but I mean it's legit that it takes place on their website and you wait because if
Hmm.
ever in that rating room, I've also tried to get like that deal, and no one
Okay.
wins. They just like you in the waiting room. You in the
Well,
waiting
they
room.
get a whole bunch of people onto the site. The site sometimes crashes.
Yeah, which is so counterproductive.
But I mean, I know guys that have got those flights before. It's not like they unscrupulous, I think is the word.
No,
here.
they do give them out, but they're just few and far between, and people are
Yeah.
like hungry for them. So
Yes.
they'll log on from 15 different computers around the office and
And that's what, yeah, they'll get sweatshops to all type in the URL.
switch shops.
Yeah.
All right. Eggs are coming on Black Friday, Ben, says Mac. Have you sorted out your egg crisis?
Well, look, if you wanted to go free range, you can find a few here and there. The Woolworths on the way to work always has. So that's like 30 rand for 6, which I think
Jesus.
is fair.
Okay.
But those ones that aren't the free range, again, like I just
You don't know what kind of chicken's laying this.
smell a bit funny. How fun, where they come from.
You don't know what that chicken's gone through. I mean, it's like
Emotional trauma comes through in food.
yeah.
That's why you got to eat free range things.
I agree, and you know they often say that if an animal has gone through tremendous stress before it's killed for meat, the meat's not so good.
Well, it should be tougher, I guess.
Tougher, and it's often got toxins in it because
Yes.
the poor animal's so stressed before it. You know, especially if it has a painful or shitty or long
Mhm.
death.
Mhm.
Anyway, what a horrible thing to talk about first thing in the morning. Let's move on to more pleasant and lovely things. Do you remember that face tattoo girl who tattooed like her boyfriend's name on her face? That's right,
Kevin.
Kevin. So it turns out it wasn't true. She was actually just doing it as a warning to other girls to not get tattoos for stupid reasons. That's going to make a lot of other girls who did do it feel extra stupid.
And they should.
Yeah, look at this.
And they should.
I
So here it is.
regret my tattoo. The video of me getting my boyfriend's name tattooed on my forehead went viral. All of the big social media platforms, newspapers, radio stations were talking about it. And all I want to say is that I regret my tattoo, but not this one, because this is actually not a real tattoo. And the reason why I trick the whole internet is that I have a message to young people and all of the people who wants to get covered in tattoos. I want everyone to know that I regret my tattoos and you might regret yours when you get older. And as a person,
Very good piece of advice. I actually applaud her for having done this, even though you can imagine at that moment she wipes it off, because there's so many impressionable people who are on the internet watching their heroes, their idols, the people that they look up to, celebrities, influencers, And then they see that and they're like, oh shit, I got that tattoo for the wrong reasons. Yep, you did.
But can I also say,
I see so many people with bad tattoos these days.
ooh, far too,
Jesus.
Horrific ones, yeah.
Horrific.
far too. But can I just say, this was the greatest, like, ha ha ha, you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet. Because she got so many people coming after her, like, why would you do that? Why would you get this tattoo? You're gonna
people
regret it.
lecturing her.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone was just giving her a lecture. So now her coming out to say, I didn't actually get a tattoo.
Yeah. and maybe it's for those people, it's a bit of I told you so too, because they're like, hey, it's just stupid that you got. I think we all said this is a bad idea.
Yeah, bo. I think any
well,
face tattoos are just.
Have we met Kevin? Because maybe he's a really great guy.
Mm.
There's also that angle there.
What are you
No.
grasping? I mean, that
No.
sounds like you're really looking for the devil's
No, I mean,
advocate argument here.
She's got a great message, but this is just another example of how people are far too much online in life and it's not doing anything
Yeah.
for their lives.
Yeah.
It's just making them shitter.
And for many people, I was talking to someone about this on Monday night, their virtual personality, their virtual life has become more important than their actual life. And I think that's extremely sad
It's hugely sad.
because you are missing out on most of, I would say, like 9/10 of what it is to be human. And really, if you're living virtually, even if you find that is somehow inspiring to you, you enjoy the experience of being, anonymous or different on the internet to how you are in real life, I just don't think that that's going to give you joy.
It really isn't. I can't see it giving you any sort of joy. And also just makes you so reactive the whole time. And when you're reactive the whole time, you're just not relaxed. You're not composed as a person. You're jittery.
Yeah.
And then you add all the obsession with caffeine and caffeinated drinks on top of your reactiveness. Pretty shit people.
Yonder says, Gareth, don't downplay the rocket. It's the biggest space rocket and the most powerful one. After 8 years of prep, there was one launch to orbit, but couldn't separate. Today's the second try.
Oh,
and
yeah.
wow.
I watched the
Okay.
first one. So this is
Right.
is
So
big.
then you know what it is.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Yonder. All right, let's get into some sport with Ben, because this is what we do on a Friday morning. It's become a big thing for us. And yesterday, not the greatest exit from the World Cup of cricket for us. I even watched, I was at the gym and I watched it on the TV. in there.
Because I genuinely, I mean, maybe some people just said it best by coughing 3 times.
Yeah, chokers.
I just don't even know what to say about the Proteas anymore. And I'm tired of the whole choke thing. See,
So are they, but it's true.
Well, of course they are. But something that I feel is worth addressing is that we've become so accustomed to the Springboks and what they do and their temperament and their culture and their excellence and their systems. That's not the Proteas. They're like a different dimension. They're a different stratosphere away. I mean, if you just look at that system, the board is coming and going. It's absolving. There's acting CEOs. There's real CEOs. Then there's acting ones being real ones. You've got them Black Lives Mattering 1 month. You've got them picking a captain the next month who doesn't want to be a captain. And then ultimately it all comes in the wash that Temba Bavuma.
Are you saying that it's badly run?
I say it's a bit, up and down. And then you
All over the place.
basically you come out in the wash with Temba Bavuma having to lead this team into the World Cup. And, Temba gets a lot of stick. But as a batsman, and I don't like to just go, oh, look at the stats, because that's only half the story. But as a batsman, he's a good player, okay? And he's had to shoulder this team a lot in all forms of the game, okay? Then there's a controversy around him not getting to SA20, which will no doubt piss him off and obviously dent his confidence. And then he came back in the SA20 eventually. But he was the South African captain, and I get that, and I really do. But something that really just I find, of all my years in sports, yesterday's moment, you're about to play the semi-finals, right? You want to be fired up. You want to be like, this is it. We're going to actually, in the terms of Russie, we're going to fuck these oaks up now.
Yeah.
And again, different sports. There's the last rugby analogy I'll use. But this Proteas team is...
You make it very unfair and the cricketers start to cry.
It is. It's really unfair to compare the two. So you look at this Proteas team 1 to 11, you go, these are good players. And they really are, because cricket's a weird sport like that. It's a team sport played by individuals, okay? In rugby, if you miss a tackle, Peter Steptoe is probably going to run down the oak and then kill him on your behalf, okay? That's rugby. That's great. If you play a bad shot, Temba Bavuma, duck. That's it. You're not playing that aspect of the game again. Yeah. That's it. You're finished. If you come on with the ball and miss your mark a couple of times, you're suddenly 0 for 20, and you have literally, that's it. So cricket's hectic like that. It really is. But what really got me, and again, it's so easy to take pot shots of this Proteas team and Temba and the players and the whole chokers thing and the fact we've had 5 semis now and no final. But you go into this game and he's at a Cup World Cup. He started out with a loss of a family member. He was sleeping at the press conference. The Oak was going through the worst. He's had minimal form, okay? Reza Hendricks always on the sidelines. This is becoming a narrative in itself. But as a captain, he was injured. So he's not entirely sure he's going to play. So when they ask him what's going on, he's like, back's a bit sore. I'm not 100%. It'll have to be good enough. Imagine Siya Kolisi getting into the final game going, knee's not great, but hey, it's going to have to be good enough.
That's a bit slack here.
So
Really.
And again, you can say to me, but Ben, cricket is not rugby. He was fine to play. Yes, but it sets the tone, right?
Very bad.
And then because
that's how losers talk.
But this is it, right?
Yeah.
And he's not trying to be a loser, and I'm sure he isn't a loser as a person. But if you want to be the best in sport, you've got to have something special. Like you look at the eyes of the Springboks guy, and like there's something special there. They're playing
for more than just a win.
They're driven by more than the fact that, hi, this is me. I'm a professional sports person. So, people again will say, yeah, but you're making a big deal. But it sets tone, right? Like you go out there, you limp to the kind of crease. Temba gets a duck. Suddenly the Proteas are full for fuck all. And then the Aussies are rampant, right? And again, it's like you pigeonhole yourself so much to say, oh, we're a good score setting team. We don't chase. It's rainy. The cloud conditions are heavy. It suits the seamers straight up. So like Pavlov's dog, win the toss, bat. It's like, okay, well, maybe back yourself to do a bit more than one trick. So yeah.
Well, Ricky says, I've never been so nervous about a semi since watching Brokeback Mountain.
I see. And then it sucks that we've got to endure these jokes. Can't we just win a game?
And I mean, to Australia, it's kind of a little more insulting when it's them.
No, look, okay. Australia, I think, have played in 9 semi-finals. They've won 7.
Okay.
They've got a good rate because they are proven, because that's what they do. They like to win because they back themselves, right?
Sure.
They have captains that step up. And back in the day, they were just drunk and then aggressive, which maybe were 2 good qualities to lead teams. But they just
aggressive and drunk.
They have a way of being unashamedly winning in what they do. Oaks are like, it's a bit pedestrian, okay?
Well, they've become used to being not the best.
But that's the thing. Our system, I don't think, helps these guys in any kind of way.
It really
doesn't. And it's just sad to now sit here again at another World Cup and say, yeah, look, the guys fought hard, but, we...
Oaks.
And they did.
Really? Oaks.
So, like I said, they were 4 down for pretty much nothing. David Miller scored one of the most incredible one-day hundreds ever when you think about it in the context, and good for him. But now, what does he get out of that? Nothing.
Nah.
Gerard Coetzee was coming in steaming on a pitch that had no place for a seamer yesterday, and he was giving his absolute all. The Oak must have burnt about 7 million calories, judging by the fact that he was literally melting out of his own skin. There's fire there. There's players there. There's actual passion there. But again, we lost. So... yeah, I mean, I don't want to hop on this and jump on bandwagons and kick people while they're down, but it's just another cuck situation. And I think it always goes back to what I've been saying for the last few years. Sometimes in life, you've got to back one person, throw all the egos out of the room, and back them to actually be a winner. Saru were even more of a disaster than Cricket South Africa. But at least they had the good sense to go, you know what, Rusty, just run with it, bro.
Yeah.
You're director of rugby, you're the coach. You
trust someone who knows what they're doing.
Whatever you are, just go with it. You're the head of high performance. I mean, Rusty had more titles than.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically just became Saru. What's Cricket South Africa? Do you know who the last 3, I don't know, CEOs are, or even coaches?
Of course not. Nobody does.
I know the different structures. There's a whole. It is so nuanced, this argument, but. At some stage, we have to have one united term of excellence in this team. And sure, keep Temba as captain. Go on, obviously all the players are rallying around him right now because he's taking abuse. So all these headlines you see, I mean, this is just knee-jerk bullshit. But there's got to be some sort of central plan of success. Anyway, India have that because they have endless resources. They're playing at home, and they're in the final.
They take cricket so seriously.
Well,
they know what they're doing.
They've got the structures, right?
Can't argue.
They created the IPL so they can get all the youngsters to play with all the best older players from around the world, get experience and depth.
Correct.
And like I said, and it may have come across flippantly in the beginning, it's like the World Cup cricket's going to be great, but ultimately India are going to win. So that's it. They're playing against Australia this Sunday. It's not a great Australian side. I think that middle order is very sketchy. Take away Glenn Maxwell's one-legged innings and a few cameos here and there by Warner, and they're not great. India are going to steamroll them. So that is cricket. Let's just kind of wrap it up there, I guess. There is no football this weekend because they have these on international breaks. There's no fixtures for the leagues that you like. So into the URC, which of course is the United Rugby Championships. And I guess the question with this tournament is, when are the Boks playing again? Like
that's
rugby,
it.
I like my teams, but when are my guys playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because also that's what all those people who weren't massive rugby fans the rest of the year suddenly became, and now you need to keep them on board.
Exactly, those guys got to play. Well, I'll tell you what, Bongi Banabi will not be playing for quite some time because Shannon Frizzell.
That's a horrible name.
Injured-
Shannon Frizzell.
Injured him in the final. Bongi needs a hectic knee operation, so he'll be out for at least 6
shame,
months.
that's not good.
no.
Sucks. So anyway, Friday tonight, Edinburgh versus the Bulls, 9:35. The Bulls are the best start of all the SA teams.
Mhm.
Ulster will be thrashing the Lions tonight at 9:35. And then Saturday, we've got Sharks at home. Well,
Nice.
they've been terrible to start. There's been questions around should Plumtree be the coach again? Of course, he is a New Zealandist. So it'll be 5 o'clock tomorrow. If you are in Durban, if you're still there and you can find your way to the stadium, go for it.
Right.
They're playing Connaught. They're Irish as well. And then Munster will be hosting the Stormers. Again, Munster, top team. That was the actual final of the URC last year. So that'll be 7:15. But the big thing, if you are into the golf, is the end of the DP World Tour. So
Right.
The DP World Tour is basically the old European tour.
Now, I heard a little bit about this while I was watching the NetBank Golf Challenge last week because they
what
were
did you
talking.
hear?
The commentators were saying, we're lining up for the end of the DP Tour, which is going to be at the Jumeirah, whatever it is,
Exactly.
in Dubai.
I played at this
Am I
course.
right?
It's quite something.
You have played there.
At the Earth course at the Jumeirah,
Very
Jumeirah Golf Estates.
All
So
right.
how it works with the DP World Tour is it's all the race to Dubai. And this is why,
Okay.
knock the Middle East all you want, but they've injected so much sport and made
Yes.
so many people rich because they want what we've always had, so to speak.
Oh.
And I say we,
Mm-hmm.
like South Africa, Sunshine Tour, European Tour, that sort of axis of latitude there.
Mhm.
These are all really cool golf tournaments and cool golf courses and stuff. And they were like, guys, let's just finish it here. So everything plays on the European Tour, which is now the DP World Tour, to Dubai. And Gurera is leading, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that Rory McIlroy is so far ahead on the order of merit, basically, that he just needs to not be completely shit, and he'll win again. I think it'll be the 5th time, which
Wow.
is great.
That's very good.
But Colin Montgomery, let it not be forgotten, won this thing 7 times in a row. He was so dominant in the European golf times. Of course, he was absolutely useless in America, but let's not really drag him down on that one. But yeah, full field of all the European stars that you would like. There's a few South Africans scattered amongst here. But unfortunately, this isn't a great era of South African golf on this level. We've got incredible talent rising up in the Sunshine Tour. But, gone are the days where we would have guys contesting for these big things, either side of the pond, as they speak. Most of the talent took the money in the Live tournament,
Yes.
Live Golf,
Yes,
which
of
is
course.
fine because what happens with a lot of golfers
Is
is
it
that,
fine?
well, if you look at the dynamics, Gareth, a lot of golfers marry women who need lots of money,
Yes,
who then
that's the truth.
who then have kids who have ridiculously expensive
He made
hobbies.
his life choices.
Mm.
I mean, look at Louis
Oh,
Oosthuizen.
good point.
I think
Yes.
he's got 7 daughters and they all have racehorses. Well, show jumping. So do you think he can just go and play regular tours?
Hell no.
No, everyone calls him selling out for money. That guy's got to bring home millions every single month.
Just to keep the wife and
Every
kids
single
happy.
month.
Yeah.
So before you
He made his choices.
before you judge these men,
Simphiwe, don't you be like that because you would be one of those women.
yeah,
But
don't
he
play
made his
normal
choice.
tour,
No,
go
no.
play Saudis.
I love this. Like Simphiwe's,
Instead of you coming only making $10 million a year, go take
Yeah.
100.
right.
Do you think Brooks Koepka's wife was okay with him
Brooks
only making 20 million? No, she looked at that live thing and was like, mm-mm. No, honey, you're taking that and we're going into the hundreds of millions here.
All right.
And that's dynamics and that's sport. And, everyone's got a choice.
That's
and
why we love
ultimately,
it.
Quick
that's
one.
why we love
Ben,
it. Yes.
quick one. I saw there's been like some articles that have said the World Rugby has reportedly admitted that Aaron Smith's try against the Springboks
Hmm.
in the Rugby World Cup should have not been ruled out. What are your thoughts?
Well, firstly,
Mhm.
there was a knock on at the line out. So there's that. Look, the whole thing about the TMO, it's like how far do they go back?
Mm-hmm.
Because when a try gets scored, how far back in the play can you actually go, but without really ruining the game?
And also,
So,
it doesn't sound
it's a good
like
point.
it sounds like post-match whininess.
Of course it is, but everyone hates it when the Springboks win. So it is post-match whininess, but ultimately everything balances out. Okay, so the French, the All Blacks, everyone's having a moan, like the French in particular. But in 1999, they threw a forward pass to a guy who scored a try, which knocked New Zealand out. So shut up. And then with these Oaks, it's like how many times have the All Blacks snatched a victory out of a genuine defeat?
Mm-hmm.
And then their second try, they knocked it on anyway, but the ref was feeling so cuck about giving the captain a red card.
No.
He didn't even go to the TMO. The TMO didn't even want, it was the quickest transition of a try, but you score a try earlier in the tournament and they're literally getting dental records of the guy through the third last pass. So yes, it's whiny shit. And ultimately, the best team won. Can we just have a universal day? December the 15th, the rest of the world, okay? The Springboks are being honored with the holiday, December the 15th.
Yeah.
Cyril PR. Can the rest of the world just all come together in unison and go, you know what, guys, you were better? Because that's what sport is, right?
Yes.
You win. The Proteas can go on about the fact that they're building and they love their
Right.
captain. They lost, okay? And they're going to deal with that today, and the nation's going to deal with that, and they lost. Can we all just be adults about this?
Wah.
Exactly.
Can I just reintroduce, because we seem to have forgotten the use of the word wah, and we need to bring that back.
You need to be dismissive.
All over the world, whenever someone is whiny and loserish and complaining about something and trying to blame someone other than themselves because they take no personal responsibility for anything, wah. I have taught my nephews about wah, and they know how it works now. In fact, you play Uno with the cards with them. This was at a young age. They were very impressionable. And when they would pick up a +4 and a +7 and a +2 and all in a row, and they'd go, I'd go, wah. And they'd learn very quickly that there's a world of wah for them.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I often get criticism with these kind of things, and I'll address it the same way I've addressed it previously. Super Jacob Zuma on the comments. Yeah, the Bafana are playing a World Cup qualifier tomorrow against Benin.
So what?
I mean, I can't cover everything.
But also, so
I,
what?
I really can't cover
They've not
everything.
been winning, those boys.
I mean,
Please, just no, don't stress us even more. We have enough problems and issues to deal with. We don't need to put Bafana on our list.
I mean, like, yeah, I just can't do it all.
Oh, Simphiwe is full of it this morning, and she's just not taking any shit. All right, very good.
If you can tell me 3 things about Benin, I will tell you about the game.
I can't.
No.
I really can't. I can't tell you anything about Benin. I just know it's in West Africa. That's it.
Yeah, but hey,
Can't even tell you what the capital city is.
If the team's building here's and all these kind of things, great. Guys.
But we'll pay attention once they're through.
Build it.
Start winning.
Builds and the fans.
And
Builds
this
and the
is
fans
a-
will come.
This is a
Winners know how to win.
Yeah, this is a qualifier. And frankly, like, yeah, we've been here before. Let's
Sure.
not get excited. Okay. And then Pumlani says, yes, they must call an ambulance when they have wah. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Matthew Dixon, interesting pattern. Okay, I'm not going to read that. That's like some comment from the comment section to the comment section. You guys are going to stop doing that. It's so uninteresting. It's like a side conversation.
Yeah, but that's what people come for, Gareth.
Yeah, that's also possible. All right. So can we look at some important stuff just quickly? And here's a serious question for you. We've often talked about what we would do if we won the lottery, what we would do with the money, and how exciting that would be, and living your fantasy, and blah, blah, what you would buy. But here's the question. Would you tell your family if you won the lottery? Your family.
Yeah.
Think about this,
What are we
because
classifying as family? Where's the
well,
cutoff?
this is what I'm saying. It's not just immediate family.
Sorry, are we done with sport?
Yeah, we're done with sports. Sorry, I didn't even tell people that they can go and bet, because you can. And I have bet on India winning the World Cup, which I think is a safe bet. I'm not going to win. The odds were hugely
safe. You could have put
safe,
that down 10
yeah.
years ago. You still would have got
Thanks,
short
Ben.
odds.
Thanks. But at least it'll be one of the few wins I
Well
have,
done.
because I
Very
do
good.
not win here. So it's all powered by Super Bets, and you can go along and get 50 Rand free if you haven't bet before. And if you sign up with Super Bets through cliffcentral.com, you get a 50 Rand free bet. They support responsible gambling at Super Bets, strictly now under 18s. Winners know when to stop. The South African Responsible Gambling Foundation's toll-free counseling hotline is 0800 006 008. And go along, put your bet down. This is what got Simphiwe into rugby. Now she's suddenly an expert, asking Ben about tries in the World Cup final, whether this should be allowed or
So,
not.
you see, this is why I deserve the public
You
holiday.
do. Yeah, I suppose you actually do. Okay, so this is important. There's a story about the winner of a massive $1.35 billion lottery prize who is seeking damages from the mother of his child, who says this mother of his child went and revealed the win to his family, and he didn't want this to happen. The man beat stupendous odds to win the Mega Millions prize in the main state lottery in January, the fourth largest state lottery win in U.S. history. Court documents show that he sought to protect his anonymity with a non-disclosure, because he could tell his family were a bunch of vultures.
Yes, lots are.
Okay?
Humans in
Court
general.
documents show that he went to do this. Back in February, the lawsuit says the woman signed an NDA saying she must keep the jackpot a secret until June the 1st when their daughter comes of age. But according to the lawsuit, she couldn't shut her trap and had to run and tell everybody, oh, I won the lottery. So guess what's happened? She got on the phone. She told the father and the stepmother, which soon led to several other people, including his sister, finding out. Plaintiff is now asking her to reveal exactly who else she told, with a penalty of $100,000 for each time she breaks the NDA.
Fair.
You had one job.
Yeah.
One job.
You have to keep this secret. If you please, ladies and gentlemen, if you even do a big deal in business, if Ben suddenly became overnight worth 30, 40 million rand,
I would not change.
but you also wouldn't be like splurging, showing off. You'd keep most of it a secret. You'd live a good life. You'd have no financial worries anymore. That's a big thing for most of us.
Yes.
But you'd carry on living your life. The less people that know, the less people are going to be asking you for money, because trust me, they come out of the woodwork. You asked earlier, Simphiwe, how close are the family we're talking about?
Yes.
I'm saying even the siblings, the parents, there are a lot of people who have got big financial issues in their lives. And if they smell money somewhere else in the family tree, they're there, waiting to skim off whatever they can.
You see, this guy was smart. He's been planning. He knew one day one is going to be his day to win, right? Because he told his partner, and then he was like, "No, we're gonna get everything signed. You can't tell anybody until our kid is of age." I think that's a brilliant plan. Everyone, copy and paste that plan. It's the wife that now fumbled, because now she has to pay money she doesn't have because she didn't win. Like, you had one job.
Oh man,
one job. Keep your mouth shut. And like, if you really wanted to show them that you have money, every month you just deposit like an extra 5,000 rand or something in their account.
Tabo says, fuck him. I'm moving to Dubai and not telling anyone. That includes my wife and daughter.
No, don't
Yes.
be a trash dad now. No, like, spend your money with your kid
Right.
and wife.
Right.
So, man.
If I won that much money, says Beth, I'd hire a PI to find out how much debt my family members have, and I'd pay it off. Well, that's nice of you, but you wouldn't tell them.
Yes, secretly.
Because otherwise they'll want more than just you paying off their debt.
And you must also act surprised when they come and they're like, "Oh my gosh, my car's been paid off." Really? Like,
wow, that's so cool.
So, I've heard there's this good Samaritan going around nowadays.
Oh, I've heard.
No, you know what you can do? Just to blame Gareth. Go, I know Gareth. He's so generous. This is what he's doing. He spoke about it in his podcast the other day.
Well, you wouldn't know, but it would be, I'd do nice things, but we've spoken about that.
I mean, I thankfully have a very nice family. So I would tell them with absolutely zero like fear that suddenly they're going to turn on me. But I would give them something. No, they wouldn't turn on
you
me.
never know.
Because the thing is, they wouldn't turn on me because they know I would fight them. As much as I love them and that kind of stuff.
You would fight them?
Merit is merit. If you step out of line, I.
But you never know, It's this thing of like, sometimes people are like, it's always the ones that you least expect for them to switch up that will be the ones that are like, "Oh yeah, like, you have this, right, Ben?" Like, when you guys go out for dinner, they just don't bring their wallets anymore. Or like,
yeah, but I see, I even if I had lots of money, I wouldn't suddenly start going out for dinner with people. Because I don't
paying
do that
for their
now.
dinners.
I don't do that now. I don't find it interesting.
yeah, you don't do that, but people are like, "Oh, well, he can afford it now, so I can leave my
Yeah, you
wallets
see,
at home."
those are the kind of people you should
so off the
avoid.
mark.
Just, get away from people like that at all costs. They are dangerous. He can afford it. Those kind of people, dodgy sons of bitches. I want to talk about something that Ben is very keen to admit this morning. And, whenever I smell any kind of embarrassing information, I go for the kill. So you talk about your fighting your family off. Yeah. So what trash TV, I
Ooh.
suppose you have a story about this. What trash TV do you watch that you need to admit to? So I said I started watching Game of Thrones again, but I don't think that's trash TV.
Well,
no.
when you actually look back, it's funny you mentioned this. I looked back the other day for some strange reason. I was thinking, what shit Game of Thrones actually really was.
I don't think it was shit.
It ended so terribly. Like they just didn't know what to do, and they wrote impossible things. Like, okay, this person now kills that main person with no trouble whatsoever. Okay, this one dragon now tortures the entire town. Like it was just.
I think
skimpy.
it's a great show. I'm thoroughly enjoying it again. So I watched the episode at the end of season 3, that Red Wedding one again, and I was like, Jesus,
It was a great show.
that
until
was
the end.
that was a good. Well, I'm only up to there, so I'm probably going to be disappointed again. But even though I know what's going to happen,
Gareth, you know what? Game of Thrones is like the Proteas. It's so good. They give you a lot, and it's great up until the end, and then what happens?
Yeah,
It
take
just
it all away
falls to
from you.
pieces.
No, that's probably true. All right, we need to go to a break. It's just after 7.
Oh.
When we get back, we'll find out what trashy TV Simphiwe watches, what trashy TV Ben watches, and you can also admit, because damn it, why should we be the only ones who are embarrassed?
Everyone's
morning?
got some trash TV.
Yeah. Own up to it and get ready. We want to hear all about it next. Don't go
Essential
anywhere.
child safety rules to apply if you are driving around with a child in the back of your car.
Strap the child in.
That's the first one.
I mean, my understanding of the reason for a car seat is because of the size and mass of the child.
Yep.
That's the reason for the car seat.
Catch us every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and on autotrader.co.za.
Female sexual dysfunction is real. It's so real that nearly half of all women experience female sexual dysfunction. Educate yourself. There is somewhere, somebody that will be able to help you. Doesn't matter. It takes time to find out what is the cause of the sexual dysfunction, but we know about it. We see it every day in our practice, and we find a way to solve the problem. So feel free to talk to people about it that you trust and contact us.
That was the Tea Health Show, empowering you with knowledge. Download all previous episodes on your favorite podcast platform. The Tea Health Show is brought to you by Tea Clinic.
Yes, indeed. That's the Tea Health Show, which Simphiwe has a starring role in. She's laughing. They talk about some seriously weird shit on that show.
It's all educational stuff, okay? That's all I'm
You did
gonna
a whole
say.
show on dicks the other day.
Yes, people suffer from erectile dysfunction, so it's very important to
Must be
find
the
out.
worst.
That would
That must be the worst.
to imagine. And then you could get these pills and things, but you have to think so far in advance. And who can plan that? You want to be spontaneous.
Yeah, but that's like jumper
Shame.
starting your car every day. Yes,
Oh,
eventually get going, but it must be demoralizing. You want to just put the key in the ignition and hear a hum.
Yeah, I mean, it must get
stay
tired.
healthy, folks. Stay healthy.
Look after your bodies. All right, so we're talking trash TV because Ryan ran in here and he couldn't wait to tell us his favorite trash TV show to watch is Cake Boss.
Oh, I used to love it. Like every episode literally starts off. Okay, I'm bad with like accents and impressions, but basically it starts off with like the guy like, oh, we got this order from this lady and she wants a cake for like 16 people or 16,000 people, and it's a kiddies cake themed party. What we're gonna do? We're gonna build a life-size car, and then they build it.
Yeah.
Every episode starts like that.
So Cake Boss is a very exciting show. I mean, what happens? So what are the consequences of a bad cake? Don't tell me. Does everything in the world go to shit because of a bad cake?
The event is ruined. The
Yes.
birthday is ruined.
People cry.
Memories,
it
lives
breaks.
ruined.
Wow. I hate these shows that have become where they have like the clock's ticking down. And the cake makers only have 5 seconds to finish their cakes, and Cindy hasn't finished her icing. Oh my God, rush the icing. It's not good. And then the
if they
clock
don't-
strikes and then the birthday is a disaster. And you're like, yes, but the girl whose birthday it is 15 and she'll get over it.
No, she won't.
No
No,
consequences.
she's
Because
Really?
there's
Really?
nothing else in her life, so she has to wear the victimhood of it. If the molten chocolate volcano fountain does not erupt in 3 minutes, all will be forgotten. But it's okay. I haven't watched a lot of Cake Boss.
I can't take these things seriously.
I
All
love
right.
it. Though.
I haven't watched a lot of Cake Boss, but I think it's a really good show because that person now makes cakes for tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Mm.
And that's the thing. So, there was that whole MTV thing. I think it was My Sweet 16.
I hated that. I
Terrible show.
I never watched that
vacuous
show,
people.
but I hated the idea of that show.
Terrible. But what was one of the big things? They all had to get an expensive car, right? And then it became
Yes,
that was the thing. So with Cake Boss, it's like if you're gonna have a cake, you need this dude. So this dude can never, ever, ever supply the demand for what he's got. So he must make millions out of making
All right.
cake. And I love that because I'm an eternal capitalist and I think it's great.
Yeah,
And he raised the bar on
He raised the
cakes.
bar.
Sure.
And he made
if
these
you can
things
become the master at something, if you
incredible.
can become the undisputed king of something,
Mhm,
great. But
mhm.
I don't take as much joy in an inconsequential thing as cakes. That's probably also why I don't really care about some guy who wins a tennis championship.
Hmm.
It's not my thing.
Why? Because he makes cake.
No, because there are no consequences really. So if he loses, then he's the second guy.
Yeah, look, as I got older, I've appreciated cake more.
All right. Well,
And, yeah.
is that your show?
No.
What's
that's
yours?
Simphiwe's show.
No, that's actually Ryan's show.
Yeah,
What's
Sorry, it's
yours?
Ryan's show.
That's Ryan.
How did we
That's
forget
all.
about Ryan?
That's all,
Oh.
Ryan.
He came in here. He came into the studio with Cake Boss and then ran out like embarrassed.
He wasn't even. There was no hesitation here.
No,
he
but he
wasn't
knew.
thinking about something
He
else.
admitted it straight up. So
Yeah.
to him, credit to him for at least admitting it.
So I've,
What's yours? Go
I've-
Simphiwe.
I've
Embarrassing
admitted-
though, hey? Not.
yeah, I've admitted that I watch reality TV as like my 10% of trash. Like I know that is something that I shouldn't. Instead of like TV shows, I will admit that I am a huge fan of Medea movies. Like they are bad, they are horrible, and I know they don't age well because he does not represent the black community. But that's what I watch. Like I'll rewatch like Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, Medea Goes to Jail, Medea Christmas, whatever. I rewatch them every year, like Acrimony. Like I watch them. I do. So I think that was my confession.
Embarrassing.
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm high and mighty, but I don't actually watch trash TV. I watch.
Oh my gosh.
do you-
Ben.
so you remember a few
Oh,
months ago?
really?
Hang
Too
on.
good for us, huh?
Hang on.
Yeah. Ooh.
So remember a few months ago, I told you about that show Gigolos.
Yes.
That was the last trash TV I really actually
That was
watched.
a good. Listen, we got a lot of mileage out of that.
So-
and we didn't even watch it. You just told us how great it was, and
One episode in.
we laughed for
Well,
a day.
we worked out. I watched 3 episodes, but like because and then whenever I open my TV on like the smart display, Gigolos is still there. That thumbnail will not go away. I've watched other things across other platforms, but Gigolos is still there. This guy
That's
with
what you get.
he's waiting for me. But then this week, so I told you I've been watching Crown. Okay, so that's not really trash TV.
Sure.
It's like a Netflix well-produced show. But then Daniela does like watching a bit of trash TV from time to time.
Okay.
So she's now watching Selling Sunset.
Oh.
Now,
That's that show where they sell real estate.
so I've watched the episode a long time ago. I didn't think much of it at the time.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a very interesting show. This guy gets these prostitutes to basically go into these houses, but like
Actual
really-
prostitutes?
probably. I mean, I'm
okay.
sure they're not admitting it, but they all look like prostitutes. Okay, and now they're in these they're in these houses that are cost 20, 30 million, whatever, and they give this guided tour, and it's really cool because now you see rich people's houses, which is always fun, and you get the great. It's so well produced, and then the makeup department on the show must be in the millions, and these women must get there at 1 a.m., come out of the thing at like 6 a.m., and they're ready to go. Okay, and they go into these houses and they explain like this and this natural light.
Are they real estate salespeople or are they just
don't know.
prostitutes?
They're these two little bald oaks. I mean, again,
The guys, but the prostitutes?
I've watched one episode, guys. Don't. This is a hot take, but basically, this oak then has these prostitutes going around, and I haven't seen a house get sold yet, but they parade around. But now this is the kicker of the show, right? Because these women all hate each other. Because why wouldn't they?
Yes, there is competition.
It's all about the drama. So they go, house, blah, 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 blah. But did you hear what this bitch said? And they're like, I don't like her. And she can't be on the same listing as me. So the show is actually really, really smart because you've got all the drama of reality TV.
Yeah.
You've got the high fashion, the glitz, the orangeness of what celebrity people generally like. And then you've actually got beautiful houses because people aspire to living in these mansions, right?
Yes.
So I looked at this and I probably won't watch it again. But what an incredibly engaging premise for reality TV.
So
Yeah.
you loved it.
Well, I love what they were doing.
Yeah.
I saw it as a
Clever.
product. Very
Because it
clever.
combines business.
Pause.
Okay.
People like seeing makoshas on TV. and these ones are the top end.
The views of Ben do
No,
not
people-
represent us.
People they do love makoshas on TV. That is true. That's, that's incredible.
funny
Okay,
because-
maybe I should watch
And
this.
it's funny because the guy who's in charge is like this 5 foot tall bald guy who's just like, well, that's it. You know, that's going to be your commission. Take it or leave it. And these chicks are like, oh, never. And one of them's got like a child with Nick Cannon, which is, I know, a very vague thing to say in Hollywood.
I mean, that could be anyone.
But I just congrats these guys. 7 seasons in.
Wow.
They
okay.
must have a Selling Sunset. And
Yeah,
it's-
Theron says, I love
well
the
done.
reality series Selling Sunset and OC. Real estate agent is Latin for prostitute. Fact. Carl says, those women are attractive. I'd buy from them. Also,
Okay.
when Ben says he's watched one episode, he's actually watched a whole season.
Okay, Carl,
We know
in
that.
this instance, and Daniela will vouch for me. I've sat and watched one episode with her.
Yes.
Last night she was watching was half watching a reunion show, which I thought was stupid because
Oh,
then
no, those
because
are the best.
no, but in my mind it's dumb because the entire show is based on an element of fantasy. If you get them nattering in a room together, it just looks like people nattering in a room together.
No, but
Like we're doing that right now. We're just humans, right?
Nattering in a room.
Keep
Let
the
me-
fantasy of the whores and houses.
no,
I'm with you.
no, I don't.
You don't. You disagree.
So when it comes to, because I watch reality TV,
Look at Simphiwe getting
right?
all high and mighty on us.
I can tell you now, what makes reality TV is you watching all that drama.
Yeah.
Because they've shot this months ahead, right?
Yes.
And then when it comes to an end, they do the reunion. And
Yeah.
so they've had time to watch themselves in real time. So they get all angry again. And it's like, let's go. Let's see if you meant what you said. Or because I'm still in it. I'm like, just last week you called her a bitch. Do you really think she's still a bitch? And then it's beautiful.
See, very good point. And I'm sure this is like one really good reality TV show did that, and the rest had to do it for part of the formula.
Yeah.
But you know it's all fake anyway. So now it's fake.
I'll admit straight up, like you had me at these millionaire houses because I'm always fascinated to. One of the only reasons I watched that Come Dine With Me shows to see how shit most people's dwellings are.
Yes.
Right,
So
and
Come Down With Me is trash TV at best.
That's trash.
Yeah.
But I can't be brought to watch it unless it happens to be on when I'm sitting in front of the TV, which is very seldom.
Exactly.
So there is that whole property channel.
Mhm.
I don't know what it's called.
Probably
but
the
there's
property channel.
Probably the property channel.
Yeah.
And often when I'll go and have supper at my parents' or whatever, then they'll have that on in the background. I like those shows because you could see how I mean, they have some beautiful houses and there's some terrible, terrible houses. And, you know, I'm a frustrated architect, and I just love to see what people want their spaces to look like.
Mhm.
So that would be a reason for me to watch. But the machoshas are an added extra.
You know,
That's a bonus.
You say that there's a local
Hmm.
property show. I don't know.
Really?
I think there is. Like, I might have seen a
Ooh,
clip
I'd like to see that,
I might
because
have
then we
seen a
might
clip
even
on-
know some of the people.
because it's really funny. Like, you get these estate agents who are trying to act like celebrities, and basically
Oh,
you find all these
shame.
people who have stolen money from somewhere, and they mostly live in Eye of Africa.
Oh
And
my
it's
word.
pretty clear. I mean, these people do not look smart,
Wow.
but they go, and this is my dream house, and they're all acting all pompous, but you can
Yeah.
just see these people have gone from probably like a summer con to this now 20 million thing. And it's like this huge jump, and you can just see there's no gaps in between here.
Simphiwe is already pulling faces.
And
No.
and
That's not TV.
This is a local show.
I know someone who I don't incriminate people,
Oh, please.
but basically, like these houses, okay, it's just because it's all about I'm now rich, and you know we know it's like in this country. Money's come from
conspicuous consumption
conspicuous
and
kind of-
tenderpreneurs and like cheap, trashy people who suddenly have money.
And I don't know what the
it's
show's
fun.
called, but I think there is a show that does this.
It's fun to watch.
And the thing is, because these people aren't
You'll watch that.
interesting, and there's no, at least with Selling Sunset, there's a sense of, because all Americans are actors, and especially the
Sure.
prostitutes. So there's a show involved. Whereas these people, they are just trying to be rich on camera, and it is so cringe. It's so incredibly cringe.
I do think the special ingredient there is the machoshas, though. I mean, really, for most people, that would be the reason to keep watching. So there we go. Now you've got some homework. You've got to download our new app,
Yes.
which is fantastic,
That's
and
number
people are enjoying it. Yeah. So delete the old app, get the new one. We've upgraded everything, changed it. It's much more user friendly. It works for starters, because the other one was so glitchy at the end.
Good first
Because
try,
it
yeah.
really was like an old dog that needed to be put down.
Yeah.
So go and check that out at the App Store if you're on Apple, and the Google Play Store if you're on Android. The homework is to watch this show, Selling Sunsets, that Ben just told us about. Sounds great.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll have the exact same takeout that I have, which is very general. You know,
It's great. Now tell us about Dana White, because I only found out about this because I follow you on Instagram. And I even reposted it saying, I like this guy. He was on a podcast and he basically said he told one of his sponsors to get fucked because they told him to withdraw some statement he'd made about
Damn.
his preferred political candidate.
no, it's just that because Dana's friends with Donald Trump.
Oh,
Donald Trump is one of the biggest MMA fans in the world.
but
Like,
you're not allowed to be friends with Donald Trump in some parts of America. Not
because
allowed.
obviously that makes you all
Not
kinds
allowed.
of things.
You're
But
an evil.
Dana
right-wing
White's,
Nazi.
Dana White's a fight promoter. He's a proud American.
Yeah.
And he wants to do cool shit, and he likes winning.
Doesn't like this.
So you would think maybe a guy Donald Trump and him could be friends.
No, sponsors.
Weird.
Sponsors think they can tell you what to do.
They do. And the thing is, they can most of the time because people are so desperate for money.
Yeah.
Dana White's done the hard yards. He's a
He
legitimate
doesn't need,
billionaire.
he doesn't need the
He's
money.
got a huge company, and he literally interviews people who want to sponsor with him. So he needs to look at who these
Oh, so
people
he
are.
choose you.
He
You
doesn't
don't
need it.
choose him.
No, exactly.
Right.
People are trying to become sponsors of the UFC,
got
and he
you.
goes, "Let me see what are you about?" And yeah, this whole podcast was about the fact that you've got to be aligned with who you actually do business with, and it's cool being him.
Good advice for anybody.
It's cool being him because he has got that money, and people go, "Oh yeah, easy for him." But he should be the example. He shouldn't be the "Oh yeah, nice to be him" kind of guy. What he says just makes so much sense because you can build an actual successful something on that. If we all just take the money, and then bow down to people saying, "Oh, don't do that," you'll always be poor.
Well, again, some people will say it's easy for him because he's already got lots of
Yes.
money. But the principle will attract the money, you
Yeah.
think.
Well, it'll at least be true to yourself, and then you can build something that you can actually like and be proud of. If you're only dealing with shitty people and shitty sponsors giving you money and then you're beholden to them, that is not a fun life.
But apparently he still took Bud Light's money.
Well, the thing about Bud Light, and he makes a good point about Bud Light, is that whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, they gave, I think, 150 influencers a can. And one of the ideas, right? So, I mean, they would have given Simphiwe a can because
Right.
she's not found a rich husband. She would have
But
given me
this Dylan Mulvaney sucked up all the publicity because Dylan Mulvaney's actually a man who's pretending to be a woman.
Exactly.
And that got more attention than all the other influencers.
Exactly.
So the poor marketing boss well, I don't know if she's a poor marketing boss. She might be some woke idiot. But
Yeah.
but she took the rap on that. She got fired eventually,
Good,
rightly so, because she made a bad call with Dylan Mulvaney.
But yeah, so it was a bad call, and it
Yeah.
was just people really got stuck into it. So, like I said, there was about 100. It wasn't like Bud Light's doing a campaign about a trans person.
Right.
That wasn't actually what it was, but it came across like that because people jumped in the one thing.
I got you.
So what Dana White's saying is that they made a mistake, and that was one thing they did, but ultimately they support the family of fallen first responders, of all the veterans.
Also, brands are allowed to make mistakes.
And they do from time
Right.
to time. But at its core, Bud Light employs 65,000 Americans. They support farmers. They do all these things.
So you can't punish them for eternity.
But the thing is, they do all these things of more of a patriot/conservative backing. And that's what he said. So these guys are our audience. And unfortunately, it went astray. One bad thing.
Yeah, happens.
And another thing is, but the truth of that is that Bud Light needed the UFC to get back on track, because Bud Light knows the UFC is actually their audience. So they need to get back in then. I mean, Dana signed, what, $110 million sponsorship deal on the back of that?
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, I also think that people should be a little more forgiving. We can't hate someone or a brand or anything forever just because they made one bad call.
Yeah,
and I'm all for punishing companies that are pandering, and that are being fake. And there are loads of them that don't have any balls or any spine at all, and they'll go with whatever the trend is and abandon principle and never stand for anything that's real. I get that. So you should punish them. But once they've got the punishment and they've learned their lesson, hopefully, you can move on. I don't think anyone drinks Bud Light that takes beer seriously, though.
Yeah, it's a shit beer. But I mean, like, you've got to be serious about business. You can't do these woke kind of sideshows.
Yeah.
It doesn't help your business.
No. Okay, so Dana White's a good example of the opposite of that.
Yeah. But then again, it's just he's got principles. So he was talking about the fact that during COVID, he was determined to not let anybody off. Nobody. And it's hard. But again,
Very hard.
The way he structured his business, that he hasn't got stupid amounts of people just doing stuff. Everyone there he loves because they have a role.
Yeah.
And then they were going on about the fact that the Peloton told us Theo Von to take his podcast down.
Peloton is the bike, that's an exercise bike.
It's basically spinning as a business.
But at home on your own.
And they give you the bike and all that kind of crap.
Okay.
And they've always been quite worky and wanky. And then this Theo Von guy, he interviewed that Kennedy dude. And they actually said, you got to take this down because we don't
Robert Kennedy Jr.
We don't want to be associated with this guy, so you got to take the podcast down.
Wow.
So then Dana White, they start going a deep dive into who the CEO of the company is.
And who is it?
It's this, I forget his name now, but basically he is this woke kind of, he looks like a cyclist for a start, lives in San Francisco, and will just flip-flop at any kind of idea. They went through 4 rounds of layoffs.
Sure.
Just getting rid of their staff.
Just a horrible person.
And he said, look, this is it. There's no surprise. This guy here, Barry, laying off his staff. He's not putting any effort in. He's not committed to this. He's not a nice guy. And yes, he wants to meddle with your podcast. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And is people going to remember Barry in 5 years' time? No. They'll remember Dana White in 5 years' time. Even the ones who hate him, even these lefties would be like, oh, look at this guy, toxic masculinity, blah, blah, blah. He's a success.
Well, on that note, Simphiwe has an announcement of who the GQ's 2023 Man of the Year is. So come on, Simphiwe, fill us in. Who is it?
This is generally someone who just doesn't wear socks with suits, right?
It's Kim Kardashian.
She's the Man of the Year?
Yep. Well, they have a bunch of other guys, but she made it on the cover. She is the Man of the Year. I'm not mad at it because last year, guess who won Woman of the Year?
Who?
Dylan
Mulvaney. Okay, so does gender mean anything to these people anymore? What's the point of using a word like man if it means absolutely nothing?
That's so sad.
And can I tell you what?
Last year, the Woman of the Year was a man, and this year, the Man of the Year is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any respect for language?
Or what you do as a business?
Yeah, and then the whole article is about all the lessons she's learned from her father.
OJ.
Her father's dead.
Yes, so she's basically like, yeah, these are the teachings I learned from my dad to make me such a successful woman.
Okay,
No,
but I
guys.
just want to go back to this.
No.
No, hang on. Like, if you're going to say the Man of the Year is a woman this year, Kim Kardashian, and listen, you can argue about Kim Kardashian being worthy or whatever. I don't care about that. Whatever. Kim Kardashian is, I think, just one of the least interesting people in the world. And she's successful, but if that's all you care about, that she's made money, I don't think that's interesting enough. If she was and I've met her, and I wasn't that interested in meeting her. If I was at a dinner party and she was there, I would not go out of my way to be around her. I really wouldn't. Proven it, because she was in the studio with me once and I really didn't care. And that was when she was way more famous than she is now. She was at the top of her game. But don't call her a man of the year. What are there, no men? And does the word man mean nothing? Similarly, if you're going to put Dylan Mulvaney, who's a man, in as woman of the year, does woman mean nothing?
I think that's
why
where
are we
it started.
using these
That was
words?
the issue.
Why are we using? Some people use words and language for communication, and some people use it for manipulation. Can we just go back to why we have language in the first place, so that we can communicate meaningfully? If Simphiwe says, I had a great day, that means she had a great day. I can understand it and I can go, oh, that's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that, Simphiwe. If she says I had a great day because she wants to catch me out on how my day went, suddenly it's not communication, it's manipulation. Don't change these things that we've agreed for thousands of years what they mean. I hate being serious on a Friday, but this irritates the hell out of me.
Like, magazines are already dead, okay? No one cares. So it's
that's probably
it's
true.
basically them just saying, look, guys,
Please notice us. We're still here.
it's like we're still here.
We're pulling out all the stops. We're going to change your language to try and win you back.
But it's like when your 4-year-old does one of those paintings, you got to put it on the fridge and go, oh, this is great, but it's shit.
Yeah.
It's like this is what the brainstorm sessions are. It's like, how do we do something that's so like unexpected? Guys, just do what you were doing. And if that's not good enough, then close your business. Stop embarrassing everyone who's associated with you by doing this stupid shit.
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
would say this. I just think, because I saw this and I was like, this doesn't make sense. There are other guys on the cover, but Kim Kardashian takes the main headline. Is last year there was an uproar when they named the Woman of the Year. People were like, no, it can't be a man. And they're like, no, he's not a man because, he's transitioned and whatnot. And now it's Dylan.
Man.
And I think this year, I think this year, I really think GQ was taking the piss when they picked Kim Kardashian specifically.
Well, it's not funny.
And it's like,
stupid.
Because now it's like, if you guys can do that for Woman of the Year and we did it for Man of the Year, are we going to go back to normal next year? Or are we just going to keep on with this delulu?
You are just far too nice as a person. You're giving them,
you are too nice.
You're giving them far too much credit. Firstly, great humor comes from great intelligence. They're not smart enough to pull this as a joke. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
I think you're right.
And why must you go to the lowest common denominator and act on the back of that? If you get the dumbest people in this world doing things, why must you challenge them or engage with them? Like, that's a dumb thing, making a trans person a Woman of the Year. Women are incredibly important to society.
To women.
It's so insulting for
like,
women who are.
You could have been Woman of the. You should have been, rather than that dude.
Just on your contribution in the show, you should.
Right.
Thank you. But I think this is just what's happening in society, and I think this is the result of like a whole lot of, as Gareth would say, feelings, how I feel. This is what I think.
Well, I mean,
going on.
Carl says in the comments, this year's car of the year is going to be a washing machine. Right. See, like, it's got to mean something, everybody. Let's just stick to the meaning of things. Where's Kim's PP, says Matthew, being very adult this morning. Is that a thing where her nose is supposed to be? Sure. Okay. Listen, I'll tell you something. And there's a comment about this, that she thinks like a man.
Which is also something that a lot of women take pride in.
That may be true, and I don't know what, like, thinking like a man, like all men think the same way about everything.
Thinking with less emotion,
maybe.
Yes,
become
and
more
being
clinical.
very cutthroat.
She has
in the
no
business
emotion.
realm.
Not even a sexist thing.
No.
You remember that movie As Good as It Gets?
Yes.
That woman asked Jack Nicholson, how do you write the way you write? And he's like, I think like a woman, and then I take away. I'm not going to fuck this up. But basically what he was saying is, I can't do the quote or the word, but he's like, I think like a woman. And then I take away all emotion and I become clinical. Basically, he ruined this woman's day because he just said that women are like kittens in the brain. And that's what he was getting at. Got to find that quote. It's actually such a good quote.
I know what you mean. Jack Nicholson. Shame. He's apparently demented.
Well, he is about 90, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old, but I've always loved Jack Nicholson. It's just shit to see people going backwards, you know? I suppose it happens. I was talking to someone about Billy Connolly. He was like one of my favorite comedians in the world. He's totally bonkers now. I really...
No, but comedians, Vele, we know now from the
Yeah.
show. Gareth. We know comedians. It's just going shoo-goo-goo-goo-goo.
No, you're right.
And their life
You
is
are
just a
right.
mess.
That's exactly
Well,
right.
Jack Nicholson's 86.
Oh, okay. So he shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, I hear that he's struggling a little bit. All right. So what are the worst years to be born? Apparently there's another one of Simphiwe's great surveys. You know, she does these
I
from
love
time
these.
to time.
You know?
So if your year comes up, does this impact even more on your life? So you might have been having a great day today, and then suddenly you'll hear that you were born in a year that's on the bad list.
I mean, I think you'd understand why your life is the way it is.
Shit.
Because it was the year you were born. You didn't have a say in it. And you know what? I can't say that my year that I was born in is not on this list. So this is
so
why
you
I'm
don't really care then.
I'm
Don't
such a great
pretend to care.
person.
Okay.
I'm such a great person. I was like, let
Yeah.
me share this beautiful list because
Right.
hey. So if you were born in any of these years, sorry for you. Maybe you need to do a life change. I don't know.
All right. Well, what? You can't change the year you're born. So
Studies prove.
does this mean you're going to be unlucky for the whole of your life?
No, it just means you understand why, you just are not having a good life.
Okay, Simphiwe, let's go.
Okay, so at number 10, we have 1969. Okay.
Summer of 69 was a good time.
So who has a
you-
problem with
Survey's
that?
already flawed.
No, your parents were probably just like high on psychedelics.
Oh, okay,
and,
possible.
Right.
and Woodstock
Alcohol
rolling
fetal
in the,
syndrome.
in,
Yeah.
in the mud. That's not a good time. That's not a good time.
Alcohol syndrome. Okay, so go on. Next one.
Number 9, 2008. Okay, because the Black Eyed Peas once said, "You saw 2008, that's so 2000 and late."
Oh, shame. So those people are ruined forever because of the Black Eyed Peas.
Yes,
Ruined.
gone. Right.
Finished.
All right. In number 8 place, we have the 1920s. Okay.
Anywhere in there.
Anyway, that
Well,
was the Depression, like the Great Depression.
You were
took
born
place.
during the Depression and you probably were drafted into World War II. So
So-
what a disaster.
That is a horrible disaster. So I wouldn't
Basically,
want that.
all our grandparents.
Says a lot, eh?
Mm,
Says a lot.
shame. The 1920s. That's a, yeah.
In
okay.
7th place, we have 1989, and Ryan walked in. It's the year Taylor Swift was born. Enough said.
Yeah, she's a punishment upon
So
humanity.
you will not have one good relationship in your life.
I mean, she's actually very, very successful, and you can argue that I don't know anyone else whose concerts are selling out. Even old Frog Madonna can't get those kinds of numbers.
All
right
I'm
now.
saying.
Black Eyed Peas aren't getting sell out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Rather
but
take 2008
Taylor-
than this.
No, but Taylor Swift is not that great. I promise you guys.
I agree with you,
So-
but you can't condemn the whole year because of her. That's very unkind. All right, but go on.
Okay, in 6th place, we have 1993. Okay. This is the year you guys are turning 30, and that's the only thing you guys have going for y'all. That's it.
Really?
Yes.
It's that
It's that
there's
bad.
Such a poverty in 1993 is just such a shit year all
You're
around.
turning 30 this year, and that's the only thing going for you. I
trying to
promise
think
you.
like I don't
Promise
I was
you.
at school.
There's nothing special. Nothing at all. Nothing going on for
I was
them.
halfway through high school. I didn't hate 1993.
Yeah, but you're
What
already
happened?
born.
What was there a volcano?
There
There
was nothing. We never
Wasn't
talked about.
1993 was the year of the referendum, the no or yes? Was that
that was 92.
You see,
No,
nothing going on for
93,
1993.
Maybe I
Nothing.
can't think of a thing.
bridge year.
Nothing.
Yeah, I can't think of a thing. Okay.
So sad. In 5th place, we have 2023. Need I say
Wow.
more?
Yes.
Need I say more?
Yeah, very, very meh year altogether.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you getting born this year?
I'm
Chief?
waiting for 2024. I'm
Like
very
why?
excited.
Great year to be born of the Springbok champions.
If you were born from an illicit liaison with an actual Springbok champion,
That's great.
fair enough.
Hey,
But most people are not born of Springbok champions.
so
Well, actually,
Most people are born of drunken.
You'd probably be born in 2024
24,
because
yeah.
of all those late night games and the pumping afterwards.
Yes.
Mhm.
And again, fetal alcohols.
Exactly. So probably 2024. Add to your list now. Retrospect, or
Yeah.
proactively.
Proactively. It's going to be a bad year for fetal alcohol syndrome births. Go on.
okay. So in 4th place, we have 1996. And this is the year we lost Tupac, and Jada Smith has been writing that black text ever since, like the death text, not black text, death text.
Jesus.
She talks about
Black
him.
death tax.
Yo, like no
Anything around Jada. What year was she born? Because that's a badass witch year.
guys. Yo, like guys, can we just Tupac? You shouldn't
Listen,
have died. You shouldn't have died
I
that
feel
year.
like I just feel like you've named 2 years from the 90s, and actually the 90s were a great time for humanity. I'm not
Really
going to
were.
knock the 90s.
Are you sure?
I
mean,
was
It was a
very
happy
young.
time.
I was so happy, so carefree. The world was actually a
The world was
burgeoning
happy.
place. South Africa was on the up and up. Like, let's not knock the 90s. You know? Anyway, carry on.
Okay, then
Finish your
I
list.
don't think you're gonna like the next two. In third place, we have 1998, right? And the only reason why
Another 90s. You're
Yeah.
being mean to the 90s.
this is when this is the year where Shakespeare in Love beats Private Ryan in the Oscars. How's that acceptable?
But it's
How?
not acceptable. But you can't condemn all the people born in that year because
Yeah,
the
no.
stupid people who voted in the
Yeah,
Oscars.
yeah.
Simphiwe, this is a very bad metric for deciding what is a good year and what is not.
I think it's a great metric because now you know, like good decisions or bad decisions were made. You're part of a bad decision,
Ah.
and we see it play out.
98.
Sidebar also, the miseducation of Lauryn Hill dropped that year.
But that wasn't bad.
It was great. She won like 5 Grammys.
Yeah, so why would you be mean about it?
No, I'm not me. I'm just saying. But
I
we've
think you're very arbitrary with this list.
lost two.
Okay.
Last
The
two.
last two better bring it home.
Oh,
These better be really shit because these are number 2 and number 1. These are the
Seriously,
worst years.
I'm pulling a Bavuma in a press conference.
Yeah.
so-
Okay, this
Right.
one I think is justified. 1999. Because
Another year in the
Great,
90s.
great.
because you missed the cutoff of being like a millennium, and like why wouldn't you?
No, 99 was a great year.
No,
I'm not buying this one. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
finished high school in 99.
Oh, that's when life really started. Sad.
Yeah.
You see,
Sad.
yes. You became
Carry
an
on. What's the
adult.
number 1? Let's see.
At
The
number-
worst year to be born.
2020. Need I say more?
But you do need to say more. Why is 2020 a
COVID.
bad year to be born?
Because you were
COVID.
born and you had a mask on your face. but
It's COVID and people weren't playing and social distancing. That's a horrible time to be born.
It was actually just the shittest year in
2020.
living memory.
Yes, it was.
Really, because I mean, there are very few people who were alive during absolutely cataclysmic, world
on now.
earth-shattering events like world wars or whatever. 2020 is probably the worst. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
So it's the
So-
worst year.
Basically, ignore the rest of the list, but take the number 1. You were born in 2020. Cool. All right. Okay,
All right, guys,
Ben.
I'm gonna go.
We'll see you
Cheers,
next
Ben.
weekend. Next week.
Next Friday, yeah.
Have an awesome week, and
Fantastic.
yeah, we'll catch up with you. Follow Ben on the Instagrams and other things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
It's always
Ciao.
exciting stuff going on there. All right, so Simphiwe and I are going to see. He's not the first time he's been in the studio.
Mhm.
Elson, how the hell are you, dude? Say hello on the. Say hello on the live show. Yeah, move into Ben's seat. It's easier. I don't have to switch cameras or anything. How you doing, dude?
Lekker. Great, thanks.
Good. What are you doing here?
Tall?
What are you doing here? Have you been kicked out?
No, impossible.
Have they chased you out of your country?
No, impossible, man.
No?
Well, I do cause a bit of.
I know
a bit of
you
trouble,
cause
but-
enormous amount. Every time you open your mouth, and we've spoken to you a couple of times on the show, you say things, and then people start to go for you on social media and all kinds of other things. Are
Following
you
your
good?
Footsteps. I'm great, man. Never been
Okay,
better.
so what are you doing here?
Came for work, had a couple of meetings.
Okay. That's good.
Podcast and well, I'm a software developer, so
Right.
most of what I came here for was software development.
Oh, nice.
So, for those who don't know, Elson Chigwere is a listener of ours and has been almost from day one. I mean, you could claim like you were
Day one,
day one.
since 5 FM actually.
There we go. That's my man.
Sure.
So what's been happening, dude? Because we often, when people tell us they're in town, we say, yeah, come and visit us. Tell us what's up. So he is the host of the Z podcast, which was launched in January 22. And he speaks to Zambia's movers and shakers. The show's already amassed over 3.5 million views on YouTube. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Very good stuff. Since the first time that you appeared, I think with Kalenga, right?
Kalenga, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. On the show, that's a couple of years ago. You started your podcast. You've gone on to win 3 awards. Tell me about these awards that you've won.
It's incredible. So the first one actually,
Simphiwe's just going to do a fact check on your awards. she,
One of your
she doesn't believe you got any awards.
I'm just saying, hey, let's see.
All right, go on.
one of your shows actually was nominated in the same category as us.
One of my shows or one of
Yeah.
our shows here at Cliff
One
Central?
of your shows as Cliff Central.
Really? They didn't tell me about that.
She hosts a show with you on Wednesday, I think. What's
Oh,
her name?
Lebang Khosana.
Lebang, yeah.
Oh, no, we know about that one.
APVA. Yeah,
Oh,
we
no.
got that.
Oh, yeah, that's Life with Lebang, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got that under lifestyle and entertainment.
Okay.
It's incredible because we're up against Nigerians, and there's like billions of them. And
Nigerians. Those Nigerians just rigging the game against the rest of us. Well, there are millions and millions, and if they decide to enter something, the rest of us don't have a chance in hell.
Man,
Screwed.
Imagine, I was surprised when we got this.
Those Nigerians.
I don't want to start any war with Nigerians.
Ah.
Yeah, the next one we got. Okay, you don't have to laugh so hard because clearly I'm going to get my ass kicked now.
Oh, yeah. Just remember, Joburg's actually owned by the Nigerians. So good luck to you out
Right.
there. All right, Elson? We're not going to chaperone you out of here. You're just going to basically walk into the street and some guy's going to knife you.
And I hope to God my Uber drivers are Nigerian.
It depends. Have you caught one of our Bajajs yet? You
know,
have?
It's so crazy. I went out last night, and because of you guys, I
Did
took
you
a
actually-
video. I swear
Of
to
the
God.
interior.
No,
Are you okay?
hell
Did you
no,
get-
I didn't get onto a Bajaj.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were in one.
No, but the craziest thing
I
is,
still don't know what the inside of a Bajaj looks
I would
like.
not do that to myself, Gareth. I love my life and
you
I'm not
wouldn't.
trying to test God. Nope.
Sorry, but I think it must be an interesting experience for everyone to try at least once, embarrassing as it is.
I think Bakabantu did, and he said he would never do it again. So what must happen now?
So you saw one, and
I
you were
did.
very excited to see one because you
did,
hear us
actually.
talking about it on the show. The
I
whole
actually
time.
recorded that.
You don't have those in Zambia.
No, hell no.
Oh.
Don't say it like that. Like
Wait,
we're-
like why are you judging
Yeah,
us?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
wait,
What do you
whoa.
mean? Hell no. Oh, hell no! Like you've
I
got to.
don't think you guys want them here anyway.
We will. Do you know how bad our economy is? We will take whatever we can get. Isn't your kwacha worth more than our rand?
I know how bad your economy is because the Lord shedding here. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Now he's knocked Nigerians. Now he's hitting us.
Yo, okay.
It's
Like,
bad,
clearly
huh?
you're not
Nah,
trying to
it's
make
horrible.
friends.
I don't know how you guys survive this. The first night that I got here, not only was I subjected to load shedding, but there was a horrible hailstorm.
Yes,
Oh,
that was
yes.
Monday.
Nothing happens in moderation in South Africa.
We're a very hardcore place, Elson. It's everything's dramatic.
I thought you guys had sangomas here.
We do. Gogo Maweni.
Oh yeah, but that's witchcraft.
and who's the other one who she's
Can
arguing
I
with?
give you an update?
Yeah, listen. Okay, so you want to hear how things work here?
Please.
Okay.
We have two very famous umtagati,
Yes.
and these two are beefing with each other big
Sure.
time.
Yes.
Simphiwe only told me about them a couple of weeks ago, but I'm obsessed with
Gogo
this.
Maweni, and
Like
I'm
big
like,
time.
we're not doing that thing. Like,
Yeah, because I want to get
No.
them into the studio and everything. And Simphiwe is
Mm.
like, not a chance. Okay,
Not-
so help Elson and everyone else understand the story.
okay, so there are two sangomas, and they're basically beefing. Gogo Maweni versus Gogo Skoteni, right? And it's incredible because you'd like, I never knew that sangomas used to beef, but these ladies are beefing. They're like, I'll send a spell to you. The other one's
Isn't
like,
the one son, he's very sick at the moment. and
Yes,
people are
and
saying
then
Gogo Maweni made
that-
the son of Gogo Skoteni
Yes.
sick.
and then Gogo
Jane told me
Skoteni
this.
was like, no, like, she hasn't even touched me. She can't touch me because I'm actually more powerful than her. But it gets better because now these two have decided to create podcasts. So Gogo Skoteni has
What?
her own podcast where she talks
Watch
to
them
people.
win the awards that you won next year.
Yeah,
Watch.
she has, and she interviews people and she talks to them. Some are sangomas, some are celebrities. And then Gogo Maweni looked at that podcast and was like, if she can do it, so can I. So guess who also has a podcast
But
now?
this is a story of my life. I start podcasts in this country. Now everyone's doing them, even the
Including
Tagats.
But I like Gogo Maweni's one because she talks about witchcraft. Now she is
That's
like,
right. You used the term sangoma. I said umtagati. We know the difference.
it's called the Witchcraft Podcast, and she
Jesus.
no, like
She just calls it that.
Yes, and it's her and her husband, and they together in a room.
Husband who she's mesmerized.
Those things and them kovu things, and they break down how bewitchment takes place. They break down how people get like money and like sleep with snakes. It's a whole thing, and she's like, yeah, I can do this thing. In fact I do it. This is how you do it. Like you can sleep with the monkey.
Sugar Shabalala says Gogos Koteni is a very transparent witch. Plus
Oh, and she's a DJ now.
She's a DJ.
Because she said, oh, being a sangoma is coming out of fashion. So
Sheesh.
she has to do something else now.
Sanela says, by the way, Koteni means a field of trash.
I'm just giving you an update.
I would have expected.
Are you fascinated by this? Because I am.
I would have actually expected so much lightning being sent to each of those. Because you can easily buy and send lightning if you're a
Can you?
man.
You can buy and send lightning?
Wait, but this is how
I want to try
we
some of
don't
that.
move
I know
like-
some people who should be struck by lightning.
Right?
No, but
Yeah.
you see, you need
Politicians,
to understand.
right?
Politicians, absolutely.
You must understand. This is Gauteng and there's Limpopo. In Limpopo, they'll strike you with lightning, right? Here, it's a lot of love potions. This is what Gogos Koteni admitted to. So she specializes in love potions and she specializes in that. Where Gogos Koteni specializes in revenge. Like she's like, oh,
No, Maweni.
Maweni. Hey,
Yeah, you're mixing them up. Maweni's the revenge one.
Yes, and Gogos Koteni
Koteni's
is
the love potion.
Yes, but they both know how to be like, if you want to mess with me, come at me. I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. And I have a podcast you don't.
Okay,
and now
so
I
I'm going
have
to
a
say something
podcast.
very controversial here. I think if you believe in something, it will definitely affect you, even if it's psychosomatically. It happens.
Mhm.
Like if you are a believer in spirits and ghosts and things, and you move into a house and someone's told you that it's haunted, you will believe it, and you will hear the noises. You will think the house is haunted. I will buy as an atheist. I will buy a haunted house, and I won't hear a damn thing. Nothing will.
There's an
So I will pick them up
atheist on-
cheaper. I'll pick them up cheaper than you believers, and I'll get to keep the house, and no one will bother
wow.
me in that house.
Hey,
No
listen,
spirits, right?
I don't see. I spoke shit about Nigerians about that. I don't want any smoke with these umtakats.
Oh, you're not going to look for trouble with them.
Man,
But aren't you interested in their stories? Because what Simphiwe is telling us here is stuff that Jane was telling me about the other day. In fact, did Jane just walk in?
Yeah, I think so.
Please, Ryan, please bring Jane here. She's the expert.
Yeah,
Gotta get
I'll
her.
be coughing up frogs by lunch, man.
So if you believe in this stuff, it will affect you.
I don't believe in them, but I'm just not gonna mess with them.
Well,
Well, there's an atheist on TikTok who's basically done what you suggesting. He's like, I'm atheist. I don't believe in this. So, try
bring
me.
it on.
Yeah, try me. And he's been giving us weekly updates. He says he's still alive, and every day he kind of gets more and more sick.
Oh, really?
Can't explain why he's getting sick or got like a rash on his face, but he's fine. He's
Got a
definitely
rash on his face.
Yeah, he's
That's an STI.
fine.
Sounds like.
Don't mess with these people.
All I'm
Look,
saying,
I'm
he
not
started
gonna
off
look.
healthy.
I'm not going to look for Jane. Mom, Jane. She's walking past. She's ignoring us. Ryan, fetch Jane for us. We need her in here. Mom, Jane. There she comes. All right.
So
We need
that's all
this.
I'm saying is
That's
that
all we need in our lives. Hey,
And
Mom,
then-
Jane. Grab a seat quickly. We want to just because we need your update here. You updated me on the fact that Gogos Koteni's son is sick because of Gogo Maweni. No, just tell us. No, just tell us.
But you're so spicy. I said I thought because Gogo Maweni, she's
Yeah.
obsessed with Gogos Koteni.
Yeah.
Especially because now Gogos Koteni, she's a DJ. There's this TikTok that she did.
Yeah.
She was dancing as she was playing with the pots on the stove, like she was acting like she was the DJ because she's so spicy. You see, witches, they witch each other. You know that?
Yeah. They're more obsessed with each other than they are anybody else.
Yeah, because they're jealous towards each other. It's those people that are witches, Babaji. We can't talk about them like that. They're gonna.
I'm not talking. I'm just asking about them. I'm not saying anything.
Me, I'm scared because I'm black. The spell's gonna come straight to me.
Jane, you don't have to worry. They've got other clients who are paying, and as far as I can tell, no one's sending anyone to you.
Yeah.
You just heard what she said there, Gareth. The reason why you don't have to worry about them is not because you're an atheist.
It's because I'm white, apparently.
Mm.
But Mum Jane, what kind of things could you buy if I gave you like 10,000 Rand?
Mhm.
What could you buy from Gogo Maweni that would help you?
Gogo Mawen said last week on the thing on McG. She says she used the spell. She
Mhm.
says she used muti
Mm.
for husband. She put muti on her vagina.
Oh yeah, and Gogos
On
Koteni
the
has two
vagina.
husbands.
I thought you were going to say she has two vaginas.
So she has two husbands.
No, she has two husbands. I think that one, it was an act from that show that they've been doing. It was an act.
Okay.
So, because her husband, Gogos Cotton's husband is so hot, very
Really?
hot.
Good looking guy,
He's a
young,
handsome,
full of.
yeah. and he put a muti inside her vagina. And after that, the husband didn't even take 2 weeks. He was like, I will just marry you.
Oh, so this is the love potion you're talking
Other
about.
people, they use love potion to drink love potion. That one, she didn't use love potion there, the one that you're drinking. No, she used the one that you put inside. When you sleep with me, you feel great. And you feel like, yeah, can't you sleep with the muti?
That's the only one you want.
That I will buy.
Magical, magical vagina.
My relationship is,
You would want the magic vagina, Muti.
No, because my relationship is shaking. I feel like if I can go to Gogo's Kotan,
She'd
she will
help
give
you
me.
along.
So let me explain this from a cultural aspect,
Go on.
Gareth, right?
Yes.
So I'm Zulu,
Mhm.
and I'm not a very traditional Zulu woman, but there are traditional Zulu men who believe in like umuti and potions.
Sure.
And so there's this thing of like, once you've met a partner, so if the guy has met me and he's eyed me and he wants to marry me, that they do believe in strengthening the relationship. So just like how you would strengthen yourself for
It's
like
like
war,
going to a counselor or whatever.
yeah,
It's
so
the
it's
same thing.
it's encouraged so that once you and I have like agreed that we're going to get married, to actually use a love potion on your husband so that he doesn't look at any other woman or he doesn't take like unnecessary
This
wives.
is the plot
And
of
it's-
every soap opera that's ever been written.
It's
so
very
I'm with
much
you.
it's
But they say
encouraged,
those things
and
they
they
don't
know
last
that.
forever. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, it's continuous.
Those things they don't last
Do
forever.
they run out of power?
Yeah, if you use love potion, Babaji, after 2 years, you have to go again. You have to renew all the
Yeah,
time.
that sounds like a money-making
You
scheme.
see, that's the magic, Babaji.
Yeah.
Those things they don't stay.
Elson, what do you think of this?
Yeah, sounds like a subscription.
Subscription.
Yeah, you gotta keep renewing it.
Well, you see, Jane, this is the important stuff that you and Simphiwe and I have spoken about before
Yeah.
we were on the show with it. And now we know. And I just want everybody, I'm not going to bring these Gogo Maweni and Skoteni in here
They're
unless
not
you
coming.
ask me to.
No.
I think we
No.
have to invite Gogo Maweni.
No. I know this is your studio, Gareth, but no, we are not doing that.
Why? I don't
No.
understand why you don't want Gogo Maweni to come here.
She is just
Because her
evil.
vagina works.
Yeah, Simphiwe's got no. Simphiwe doesn't have the
Mine is not
vagina
working.
problem.
Let me just bring Gogo
No.
Maweni here. Maybe he can help me.
You
with
can
it.
go to her. She's not coming
I
here.
don't have that 100 and something thousand to consult. You see, that's the thing.
Is that how much it costs?
Gogo Maweni, she's too expensive. It's only celebrity that goes there. Me, Jane, I will never go there because I don't have money.
But you're a celebrity, Jane.
So I just want to read this. This is very funny from Sanela says, okay, we're talking about trash TV earlier. That Gogo Maweni Skoteni podcast is top tier trash TV. The Gareth Cliff Show just turned to trash TV by association.
I'm just sharing, and I'm saying we won't get them on. That's my
All right.
only thing that I'm very adamant on.
All right, well, we're being rude to our guests. So Elson, say something nice about South Africa and Nigeria, please, since you've trashed us and said horrible things about our load shedding.
Yo.
Do you hear what he said? He thinks
Hailstorm.
Zambia is so superior.
No, but why would I say load shedding is terrible? You don't need me to say that.
No, we know this, but you
Yeah.
don't come here. You don't come into our house and then tell us it's shit.
I am just stating the obvious.
Right, Jane?
All right.
a bit
couple
rude.
All right, a couple of nice things. You guys have got Silly.
You like Cyril.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Who likes Cyril actually?
But it's just there.
No, I'm just
Yo.
asking who likes Cyril.
really, Jane?
No, but
His
I'm just
family, maybe?
like
Cupcake.
Have you ever met anyone who goes, I'm a big fan?
of Cyril.
Yeah.
Maybe Simphiwe. Not. I
No.
haven't. Did you see that?
Simphiwe, she's
No.
never said that.
The fact that his nickname is Cupcake tells you a lot.
Did you see the way he trended after? I'm gonna give you the
Public holiday.
No, Yama. Like people that have been
Oh, the
doing
rugby,
funny things
the
with the
rugby.
legs and rugby things. You know, he was
Yeah.
trending like the whole week. I felt like, oh my god, we don't
Shame.
respect our president. But I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, he's just
Hey,
another
Silenificent says, my brother is under that Corobella spell. And
Yo,
it pains me every day. So what's Corobella?
Corobella
love
is
potion.
is the love potion.
Okay. That's
Papaji, but you must understand, love potion, other men, they don't survive because of love potion. They started to vomit blood because those muti, they're too
Jesus.
strong. That's why Gogo Cotton explained to us to say, guys, use the one that put into vagina. Don't use the one that you give them to drink because that one is too strong. You
Simphiwe?
understand?
This is very odd.
It is. There's basically levels to these love potions, right? And they call different things. There's like Begamina
Yedwa,
which means only look at me. Then there's the Gorobela. And depending on how you consume it and how often you consume it, it does have after effects, right? So because you are messing with someone's hormones, I would say,
Sure.
like he might only look at you, but like work-wise, he's a wreck. So he might not cheat, but something else in his life gets affected because that's where all his energy is going. And that's why you kind of have to continuously do it, because once it starts wearing off,
So they
he
basically
kind of gets back to normal.
They trap you in a system where you have to keep updating the software.
Basically.
And it sounds like you're one of those. It's like the insurance company. You have to pay them every month.
Yes.
But the Begamina Wedwa, the one that Simphiwe talking about, Babaji, is not good, because when you go to the bathroom, you can't go to the parties. Your man's going to follow you wherever you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that mood, he's controlling him. Even when you go to the toilet, you have to go and stand by the door.
That's very irritating.
I'm telling you,
Don't
Begamina
need
Wedwa
that.
is too strong and it's not good.
And you're paying for that. You're paying for someone to follow you around like a moron.
I don't blame them, because sometimes men cheat. You know, when your man is cheating, Babaji, you have to put those
all right.
muti.
But we're being rude again. Like, okay, so Elson said he still hasn't come up with one thing he likes about South Africa. He's visiting the country. Have you spent some money here at least so that we can get something out of you?
Lots.
Okay, good. You spent money here.
On what though? Like,
we'll take it.
On the good food? Or is there good food?
You're leading him into temptation. Go on.
Yeah, well, shopping. Well, this is actually kind of like a second home.
No, I know that, but come on, say something nice. You come to our house.
It's taken him forever. Like he's like,
He's struggling
Yeah,
here.
I think I must try Mohodi Monday. He will be fine.
The women.
Oh, wow. Okay, finally.
we'll take it.
Something.
There we go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We like that, Jane. That's at least a compliment. The
Did
women
you
here.
meet Xhosa women or Tswana?
Here's something I want to find out.
Hey.
The fact that I've got Jane here.
Good.
And
Yes. It's a very rare privilege to have her in the studio.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
What's with Black people, South Africans especially, and
God,
gold
don't-
teeth?
Oh, you don't go here.
Yo, don't even ask me, because my daughter, she's been asking me to remove this gold teeth. You know, this thing was like a style long time ago, but now it's irritating.
Grills.
It's boring because everyone put like a lot of gold teeth.
But they're fake.
But mine is not fake.
No, I see yours. Smile.
Yeah,
that
so
face,
like,
yeah.
that's what I
Mine's
kill.
got a real one.
No, you know, I hate this
Jane.
gold teeth, because the person that put me this gold teeth didn't tell me that. At the time we started dating, he took me out and he was like, let me take you somewhere. I just realized that I was at the doctor and they wanted to put me, they say you must
He
choose
basically used Corabella on you.
But now I hate this.
Wow.
Because I'm no longer with the person who put me this gold teeth.
So it reminds you of them the whole
You
time.
see, and now they cut my teeth.
They cut your teeth.
Yeah, when
to put the gold in.
To
They
put the
actually-
gold.
Yeah.
They have to chip away.
They chip
So
away
in
the
other words,
tooth
now
and
I
then
need
they replace it with
1,500 to remove and go and patch my teeth.
But what's the gold worth? Maybe it's worth it. Maybe you can pay with it by taking the gold out and using the gold to pay for it. You'd have it fixed. Do you hate it, Jane?
I hate it. I don't want to lie to you.
You know, these are the problems of being South African.
So
Elson.
the woman
you
that-
asked the question.
Sure. So the woman that you met, she didn't put gold teeth.
Clearly, he's
Well,
meeting a lot of people with gold teeth.
Yeah, in South Africa, actually.
And it's always the dodgy ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like two things that I never understand. Why criminals wear Uzi?
They do.
Yeah. There's this trend. Did you see that trend that was trending last
Why
time?
all criminals wear Uzi?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
all right.
I agree with you.
Was it just me?
I agree. No, I agree with you. There's
Okay.
this guy who was trending. He went to Stone and he was wearing Uzi.
Right.
I think it's Hong Kong. It's not the real one.
Whichever one. I went to Nelson Mandela Square and I was sitting
What's
in
the
La
other
Parada.
thing?
Oh, you went to La Parada.
Yeah.
That's very
And
smart.
my phone was on the table.
Yeah.
Until I saw like 3 guys that were wearing Uzis walking my way. I'm like,
I can't trust them.
I'm putting my phone right in my
All right.
underwear.
What's the other thing you wanted to know? You said there are 2 things.
Oh yeah, well, when it shit, man. When it comes to the gold teeth, it's never really the rich ones that have gold teeth.
Of course not.
I've never seen like a Patrice Motsepe.
No.
No.
Imagine Patrice with a grill.
No, the poor people, they're the one who put in gold teeth. I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, of course, because they want to show you that they've got something.
But this is like you carrying the money. You see me,
You gotta
I'm
carry
broke,
it in your
but
mouth.
now I'm carrying like
also-
gold.
It's only the only safe place you could put it, really.
You remember last time? You remember 2 years back? They say when you're wearing like a gold earrings, those thieves when they arrive, they will just come and grab the earrings and
Wait,
run away.
so are you telling me that no one has ever been stuck up and people told them to like pull their teeth out?
No, because I think when they come, you can just like smile and they can't even see that you have a gold teeth.
You just keep
Maybe
your mouth
if they
shut.
realize that you have a gold tooth, they will just take your teeth out.
They will. Some
Yeah.
vicious, violent criminals.
Mhm.
But at least in your mouth, you can keep your mouth closed. All right. Well, I cannot believe how this conversation has deteriorated, right, Simphiwe?
I'm so happy.
It's gone to
I'm
absolute
so happy
shit.
because I'm here
we've
to answer
asked
the
them-
question. You see,
No, can I just say you've been here for what 30 minutes on the show and you've still failed to give us a
One thing.
decent compliment. You failed.
Yeah, Elson. No, you did say
she
that.
said the woman.
Yeah, but
He said the woman.
You have got so
I mean, it took him a long time to
yeah,
get to
like
that.
it
I
was
asked
like
him
he had
the
to
question.
think
I was
about
like,
it.
did you meet Xhosa? Because there's like specific women in South Africa when you're from other countries, they say it's Xhosa.
We're not going to get into like tribal
Yeah,
warfare
that
here.
one, yeah.
I do think we've got to get to this quickly. This is an interesting comment that Sanela says, Elson is not wrong on the Uzi. I bet
Yes.
Dr. Matthew owns an Uzi hoodie. You saw that Dr. Matthew story,
Please
right?
stop calling him doctor.
Okay, Matthew Lani.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
So there's no George today for those people who were wondering because it's 8:00 already, and George is not on today. He couldn't make it. He has some urgent thing that he has to do, but he'll be back next week. So Simphiwe, that for you is good news
Oh, yes.
because you won't have to lose that quiz again.
Do you even try, Simphiwe?
I do. Hey, I'm not a car fan. Like I watch my fair share of movies. I just don't pay attention to the cars. I can tell you about the storyline and the script and like it's like the cinematic moment. I can tell you all of that. And then you're gonna be like, what car is in that movie? I don't know.
Well, somebody in the comments here says Elson is not wrong on the Uzi. Sorry, and Gareth knows science rather well. Can a person use electrolysis to gold plate their assholes? No. If you put metal on your asshole, it's not going to work properly. I mean, that's kind of obvious. What a question to end the show with. Elson, you came in here to talk about gold-plated assholes. Did you know that? That's the whole thing. All right, listen, dude, it's always nice to see you. I'm sorry that you have nothing nice to say about South Africa. We've tried. We really did. We tried to. The award-winning podcaster from Zambia cannot say one nice thing about South Africa.
Well, eventually.
You'll come up with something. Maybe you'll put it in one of your podcasts for next year.
There you go.
All right, Elson, nice to see you, dude.
Thanks a lot.
And Mum Jane, thank you for popping by. I know you have lots of work to do, and we called you in here under false pretenses, but we did hear about Gogo Maweni and Gogo Skoteni.
Thank you, Babaji.
It's always good to see you. Thanks, Jane.
Before we go,
yes,
I was thinking about this the other time.
Yes.
Here's a drinking game.
Oh,
do we need one?
I'm
Go on.
listening
I'm
to
pretty
Simba's
sure.
All right, go on.
So, every time Sispumi or Bagabantu
Yes.
giggle or laugh, drink.
Yes, you'll be drunk very quickly, eh?
Bruh.
I'll pass on the message to Bakabantu and
Man.
Pumi. Okay.
They both cannot say 2 sentences
Without laughing.
without laughing. Is it just me that notices that?
I don't mind it. You know, happiness and laughter is always welcome.
100%.
I think when you're enjoying what you are saying, you have to laugh.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
when you're enjoying what you are saying, especially Simphiwe, when you know Simphiwe, sometimes I can hear from that side when she's enjoying what Babaji is saying.
Actually-
she can laugh so loud.
Actually, did you see Jane fall?
You
watched
I'm
she
still, you know, I told Ryan this morning.
Simphiwe
Babaji,
loves nothing more than when someone
luckily,
falls.
I didn't tell Babaji, and Babaji came straight
No.
after I fell.
Okay.
You
sorry.
know what I didn't want to tell you?
We're meant to finish the show,
the
but,
show so I can
but-
laugh properly.
but there's some
I didn't want to
steps.
tell him because
You know these
he's gonna-
steps you came down here, Elson. So I hear this almighty
Yo, guys,
crash.
my leg, I'm still on pain.
But you told me you didn't hurt yourself.
No, because I didn't want you to laugh at me.
I asked you if you were
feeling
okay.
pain. I
wasn't gonna
even
laugh
took
at
the
you.
shoes out. I told Homulumo yesterday, I was like, I'm feeling pain.
I hear a lawsuit coming.
Look at my leg. I'm still showing. Look at this leg.
Listen, Jane, when I asked you, are you okay? You said, no, I'm fine, and you were laughing.
You see, I didn't want that laugh.
You just don't want
I
this.
pretend like I was not in pain. I missed the steps. And this morning when I told Ryan told me that, you know what, last week it was me, but Simphiwe was not here. And I fell. You know what? These steps is going to kill us, I'm telling you.
Well, you have to look where you go. Steps are the same. That none of them are skew or crooked.
But you don't say that. You remember when Simphiwe told me that thing? But Kama is a bitch. She's fine. You
So
can
your
laugh.
your time is coming, Simphiwe.
Yeah, again.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Have an awesome weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye. Big thank you to Elson, and Ben, and